to announce the opening of our Purchase Money division with a strong emphasis toward helping first-time homebuyers navigate the mortgage process. So whether you're buying a new home or simply refinancing the home you're in, call Miller Lending and experience the benefit of working with a locally owned family business. In Cary, 919-447-3377, or simply apply online at millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 250-2146.
Eat like a king who's on a budget.
Burger King's $5 Your Way meal is packed with flavor. Choose between 3 tasty options, like the Whopper Jr., Chicken Jr., or Bacon Cheeseburger. Plus, enjoy fries, a drink, and nuggets on the side. Now that's delicious.
You rule your season today at BK. Have it your way.
Price and participation vary. U.S. only. Features 4-piece nuggets, value, drink, and fries. Restrictions apply.
Adam Golden Studio with my man Patrick Day from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. When I say everything for the exterior of your home, I mean it. So tell me everything that you have for the exterior of my home.
There's so many things I can't even remember the entire list. You know,
Good luck.
Thanks for the test here. But windows, doors, siding, roofing, gutters, gutter guards, railings, you name it. We have the exterior home improvement you're looking for. The main thing is we're a one-stop shop, right? So you don't have to call 2 or 3 different contractors if you need your roof done and you need your windows done. You can call one company and have it all done.
I like that. French doors.
French doors.
I like French doors. I can't speak French, but I like French doors. Can I tell you, back in the day, you guys did French doors and every window in a home I used to own.
Well, thank you for your business.
It was incredible. Can I also tell you that it was done in like 2 days? Is that even possible?
It is possible.
How do you guys do work that fast?
We're good.
You're
We're
fast.
good.
That's Patrick Day from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. They do the best work in the industry and the best customer service in the industry as well. AluminumCompany.com.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
He scores! What a comeback!
Visit GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com. WCMC-FM HD1 Holly Springs.
Tiger's been nothing but incredible to me over the course of my career, in the good moments and in the bad. You know, he sent me an incredible message after St Andrews in 2022. I met Tiger when I was 15 years old, and you know, I've built up a great relationship with him. It means a lot that he reached out, and it actually, you know, it means a lot that he waited a few days to reach out. Wish he hadn't waited that long, as I probably would have got it. But you know, I caught up with him earlier, and you know, it's always nice when your hero and the guy that you had on your bedroom wall is reaching out and offering words of encouragement.
Yeah, there's the saying out there of don't meet your heroes. I'm sure people have heard that before. Hey, don't meet your heroes. They'll let you down. They'll disappoint you.
Yeah.
Well, sounds like for Rory, like, hey, you know what? Tiger's been everything of a hero and then some.
Or your favorite actor or musician, because, yeah.
But for Rory,
That's
Tiger,
a good thing.
it's been everything, which is great.
I love that.
I think it's vital for sports that when there's the quote-unquote changing of the guard, like, pass the torch, pass the knowledge. I think it's so important for sports, whether it's golf, baseball, hockey, you name it, where athletes show younger players, one, hey, this is how to be a pro. This is how to be successful, not just only on the court, course, field, ice, whatever it is, but also how to manage yourself off the field. Hey, here's the challenges that I face. Here's what people, even before me, what they taught me how to handle certain situations, whatever it might be, whether it's failures on and off the field or things in your personal life, managing money, those kinds of things, because that is what carries on your sport. You should leave your sport in a better place than how you found it. And that's hopefully what Tiger is doing, because Tiger elevated the game of golf.
Oh, big time.
Massively.
Yeah. Can't think of golf and not think of Tiger. At least you shouldn't.
I mean,
say you could, but you shouldn't.
He doesn't move the needle. He is the needle in golf.
Yeah.
But hopefully he passes that torch on to others so they can also be stars in and of themselves. One thing I always hate, by the way, this is Dennis Cox sitting in for Adam Gold today.
We were just ready to get it going.
Hey, you know what? Just go. Don't waste time. Get right into it. We'll dive here into the Open Championship here in just a moment, and also some Canes news as well. But one of the things that drives me nuts is, especially because I see it oftentimes in baseball, it's like when a young upcoming player is doing really well, like the older guys kind of have to check them, like, All right, you're getting thrown at, whatever it is. Hey, don't you celebrate? Don't you flip that bat when you hit that home run, youngin'. Like, don't you disrespect, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, actually, you should embrace that because that's the future of your sport. And if you want your sport to grow and thrive and continue to be better than what it was, you have to embrace that young player that has maybe a little bit of cockiness, as some might say, but I would say passion and love for the game.
Well,
it's vital.
What we're seeing right now, we're seeing that hard in the WNBA. I mean,
Yes.
A lot of people are giving Caitlin Clark a lot of grief, and, she's accepting it. Like, she's like, yeah, I know they should push me around. I'm a young person, but also respect her at the same time, which I think people do.
Well, I think there's two different things of it. I think on the court, it's more of a, hey, we're going to test you as a player. Like, we're going to test your limits as a player because I want to see if I can get in your head. Like, that's the kind of thing, but it's like I mentioned in baseball, a guy like hits a home run, flips a bat, and now someone's, throwing at somebody, whatever it is, because they got disrespected. It's like, oh, respect the game, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, it's just someone having passion and having fun. The stuff with Caitlin Clark is just, hey, I'm going to try and push this rookie and test her limits. That's really what it is. No different than in hockey when you have a rookie comes up. All right, I'm gonna drive you into the boards a little harder. See if I can get into your head. That's the kind of stuff that happens. But it's one thing to be competitive on the field. It's another thing to try and hold others down. And I'm happy to see Tiger Woods is passing that torch on to other young golfers, which hopefully Rory can pass it on to others. Speaking of Rory, I think I jinxed it. Let's go ahead and get things started.
Uh-oh.
I want to start with an apology to Adam Gold. I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
Adam, I am sorry. I know Rory McIlroy is your guy. Your guy. And I think I screwed this one up, Victoria.
Oh, no.
I screwed this one up because when we did place your bets yesterday, I said, yeah, you know what? Give me that Rory guy.
Yeah.
Give me that Rory guy to win it.
We'll do it for Adam.
I'm doing it for Adam.
Mm-hmm.
McIlroy stinks.
Oh, no.
Right now. Okay, McIlroy stinks right now. It's he finishes round at +7. +7. He's 10 shots behind the leader in the clubhouse, Justin Thomas, who's 3 under.
Not good, Rory.
Not great. Not great, Bob. Not great. So I just want to go ahead and start with an apology to Adam Gold because I chose Rory McIlroy to win this thing because he said, hey, I'm doing it for Adam.
Yeah.
I wanted it for him. And I know there's a lot of Rory McIlroy fans out there who have been like, we've been waiting 10 years for this guy to win another major. And he is that talented. I mean, you don't just finish consistently in the top 10 of majors and not be good.
Sure.
That's the frustrating thing for Rory. It's like he's finishing in top 10s, top 5s in majors, but hasn't won one in 10 years. And then I don't know if this is just carryover from the U.S. Open or just
now
the course and stuff like that.
I think it's just mental.
It might be. I'm not entirely sure what it is.
Blocking himself, maybe.
It could also just be a guy just had a really bad day.
True.
Sometimes it's all it is. Someone just had a really, really bad day.
Or maybe he's past his prime. I don't know. Who knows?
I mean, he's still good.
Yeah,
he's still
don't
in
get me
his
wrong.
early 30s.
He's still good, but the problem is like people keep coming in to the league and they're better. Like Scotty Scheffler. Like,
yeah, but I mean, we even saw Scotty Scheffler in the U.S. Open stink. That's the thing. It's like sometimes you just have a bad day. Maybe that's what it was. But you picked a bad time to have a bad time. But Rory McIlroy, struggle bus big time. I mean, gosh, we were watching like a couple tee shots. He was spraying all over the place off the tee. I mean, there's one tee shot, I think it was on 14. There's train tracks that are like on the right side of the fairway, or to the right of the fairway, I should say, behind the crowd. He put it into the train tracks.
Uh-oh.
I'm like, oof,
choo-choo.
bad. Yeah. Good luck chipping off that one.
No, not
Try
great.
trains coming. By the way, Tiger got off to a decent start.
Oh, look
Speaking
at
of people
him
moving the needle, Tiger got off to a decent start. And, a lot of people were very excited. It's like, hey, you know what? Tiger off to,
that's going
to
to
a
get
really,
people
really
excited.
good start.
Yes. People want to see Tiger succeed, people being me and others.
He birdied the third hole. It's like, hey, he's 1-0 through 3. Like, let's go, right?
Nice.
Feeling good. Then the fourth hole happened. Goes for a long birdie putt on 4, misses the par putt, misses the birdie putt, goes long on the birdie putt. Then he misses the par putt, and then bogeys the hole. Okay, he's even through 4, Victoria.
Nice. There we go.
Then he double bogeys the 5th.
Oh, okay. Well.
Yeah, so he went from 1 under to 2 over, just like that. And now he's 4 over through 8 holes.
Yeah.
Not good, V.
No.
Not good. Not good.
Maybe they'll turn it around today.
I mean, he's still, got half of his round left. So, hey, you know what? He can get back. He can climb back into this one. He can climb back into it.
Oh, maybe the weather should be bad because doesn't Rory do better in kind of questionable conditions?
Well, no, it's been questionable conditions and he's +7. So,
Well, then never mind.
No.
That's not working in his favor, I guess.
Not working in his favor right now. Someone who actually did turn things around, Brooks Koepka. Parred the first hole, bogeyed both holes 2 and 3, but then answered with 3 straight birdies. So on 4, 5, and 6, including a long birdie putt on the 6th hole to get to 1 under par, which is what he currently is right now. Last time I checked, through 9 holes. So he's out of the clubhouse at 1 under. That's fine. Hey, Brooks Koepka, that's awesome. Like, you bogey 2 holes and you answer with 3 straight birdies. And again, that's 6th hole. Longest in the Open history. Remember correctly they were showing earlier? Over 620 yards. I think it was 623 yards. That's how long the hole is. On the 6th at Royal Troon in Scotland. By the way, I actually figured out who I'm rooting for now, Victoria.
Oh, for real?
I figured
this
out
time?
who I'm rooting for. I don't know jack squat about this guy.
Right.
But a guy I'm rooting for, Callum Scott.
Okay.
He's an amateur from Scotland, which is where Royal Troon is located. He's an amateur from Scotland.
Homegrown.
Shot an even 71, even par in the opening round. It'd be awesome to see an amateur win a major, right? Especially in his own
hometown.
backyard.
I love that. Yeah.
Let's go.
I'm
I'm rooting for that guy.
Like, when I watch my MMA fights, if there's a rookie, making their debut in their hometown, I'm even more, let's go. Let's do
go.
this.
Let's ramp this one up here a little bit. I don't know, like I said, anything about Callum Scott. You could show me a picture of Callum Scott, and I go, who's that?
Yeah.
But you know what? I see the leaderboard, and I see the little Scottish flag right there next to him. I'm like, yeah, I'm rooting for that guy. The amateur with that guy.
I mean, he sounds like
Him.
could be a clothing brand too, Callum Scott.
Yes.
Like a T-shirt, like a golf type shirt, maybe.
Maybe it is. Maybe he makes.
should
Maybe he makes golf shirts. Callum Scott brand.
Right.
It's also he might be an accountant.
Could be.
Actually, Callum Scott sounds like a law firm. Maybe.
I was gonna say, or an attorney, because that also could work.
So your leaderboard right now, Justin Thomas is at 3 under. Alex Noren, Nikolai Hogard, Justin Rose, Russell Henley, Xander Schauffele, as well as Shane Lowry, all 2 under. Xander Schauffele and Shane Lowry are both still on the course. Xander Schauffele 2 under through 8. Shane Lowry 2 under through 7 right now. But Rose, Noren, Nogard, Rose, Henley all finished their rounds already. Again, Justin Thomas in the lead at 3 under par. He was one of the early tee-offs. So basically, when you were finishing breakfast this morning, he was basically done with his day over in Scotland. By the way, also under par right now, at least guys that have finished their round that are under par, Adam Scott, Matt Wallace, Chris Kirk, all 1 under par right now. Brooks Koepka, as I said a moment ago, 1 under par. And a couple guys that are kind of floating around even, like Tony Finau. Tony Finau was right there in the top 5 at the U.S. Open as well. He was even through his first round. My guy, Callum Scott, even.
Nice.
Dustin Johnson, even as well. Brooks Koepka, 1 under. He's through 9 holes. So there's a lot of guys like Jordan Spieth is even through 6. Scotty Scheffler, even through 6. So there's a lot of guys that are still right there in the mix of it, right there in the thick of it, as the late tee times are wrapping things up.
I could see Koepka keeping up with everybody. He's been doing that. That's this year, at least from what I've seen anyway. He's been in the running. He's trying. Don't forget about me. I'm here.
This style of golf, I don't know if it benefits Brooks Koepka, the links golf and stuff out there. I will say the one thing that I appreciate and love about the Open Championship, the British Open, however you want to say it, is the spectacle of it, to me, you look up there and you see gray skies. It's windy, a bit rainy. Doesn't feel like there's a tree in sight. There's crazy bunkers just out of nowhere. It's just like, yeah, here's this patch of like beautiful green, like right here in the middle of fairway. There's just like a pothole, and it's a bunker that's 12 feet deep, it feels like. Honestly, it looks like we're on the shores of Winterfell of Game of Thrones. Nice. Is kind of where we are right there. Like,
are there dragons?
Yes.
I want dragons.
I want dragons too. I would love for that to happen. Maybe, honestly, I'm waiting for William Wallace to come running out here. It looks like a battlefield from Braveheart.
It does.
And that's the thing about the British Open for me that always gets me. It's just the spectacle of it, because you see people like, they're kind of like cold, they're bundled up, wearing rain jackets and things like that. Like, I'm sweating outside. Yeah. I kind of want that weather a little bit.
Literally melting.
Yeah. I was like, but it just, you see guys that are putting, be like 80 yards away off the green, and like they're putting.
Wow.
It's like, who does that? Nobody.
Not
but
me.
Over there you do. It's just the style of golf and everything is just so completely different than what we get here in the United States. And just the visual of it is awesome. How you have to play the course is just so different for most guys, and it's just fun. It's just one of the more fun things to see when it comes to sports, in my opinion. That's why I enjoy watching it, because again, just the spectacle of it.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. And I also know a lot of people in Victoria, because it is 5-6 hours ahead, whatever it is. People love to wake up like, oh, I got golf on first thing in the morning.
Oh yeah,
like I wake up at 6.
Yep.
Who's hitting what right now? Like,
those
where are
early
people
birders.
on the leaderboard? Yeah,
they love them.
People love it. People are like, 6 a.m. I'm just gonna sit here and watch Open Championship. I don't have to stay up late. Like it's stuff's done by 3 o'clock.
Yeah,
our
exactly.
time. People love it.
Oh yeah, those early birds do.
People love it.
And then if you're not an early bird, you wake up and you know what's going on.
Exactly.
It's already
like,
happened.
It's already happened. It's all done.
Right.
Like, oh, hey, who won? Oh, look, there it is.
Yep.
All right. So, but again, in all seriousness, I'm sorry, Adam, that I chose Rory McIlroy to win the Open Championship. He's +7.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll leave a handwritten note for him when he comes back next week.
Right. My apologies. Yeah. Well, it's okay.
Or you know what? Maybe I set him up for an epic comeback, and it's only going to be even that much sweeter for Adam.
Maybe. Or maybe Adam just needs to stop picking Rory. Like, maybe because this would be like the second or third time that he's put all the chips in, and Rory's just not come through.
He has not. He has not.
You know what's been I just thought of this, a common denominator.
What's that?
He throws his idea out for Rory to win, and then he goes on vacation, and then Rory loses and he comes back.
Maybe that's it.
That's the problem.
It's funny, the last time Adam was really on vacation was US Open was second
it
place.
Was.
Go figure.
Right. It was. I'm seeing a common denominator that he's like, look, if you pick Rory, then you have to stay.
Well, like, Adam, I can't fill in for you when there's a major taking place because Rory stinks and I feel bad.
Right. This is your doing,
I'm
man.
trying to carry the torch for you, man.
Man. We'll see. Maybe it's early. Who knows?
All right. On to the next. We had the breaking news at the end of the show yesterday when it came to the Carolina Hurricanes. Very, very tail end of the show. We bookended yesterday's show.
Like the last 2 minutes.
With Canes news. We had the breaking news that Evgeny Kuznetsov was placed on unconditional waivers with the designation of having his contract terminated. And then at the very end of the show, by the way, Jack Drury agrees to a 2-year extension with the Carolina Hurricanes. It's a 2-year contract at $1.725 million per year. Trip Tracy, the color analyst for the Carolina Hurricanes, actually joined the show next up on 99.9 The Fan in Raleigh, North Carolina. Trip Tracy, the color analyst for the Canes, joined Paul Ihander and Graham Hill on the show earlier today, talked about the value of Jack Drury signing.
I think this is a very, very good signing by the Hurricanes. I mean, the number is a great value, probably such because, had it gone to arbitration, the strength probably early in his career fell in the Hurricanes' favor. And, hey, that's the way it should be because, we've seen with all these free agents that were just lost because that pendulum shifts as you approach unrestricted free agency. So I think it's without question going to be an outstanding value deal for the Hurricanes.
I agree. 100% agree that it's a great value deal for the Carolina Hurricanes. Because here's how I thought it was going to be more closer to $2 million per year. That's what I was thinking. Now, I'm sure that's probably what he was going to be asking if they actually did reach arbitration, which was set to roll around actually starting this weekend. So the window to still get something done was open, and they clearly got it done. And I thought $2 million was probably going to be the number that they would maybe settle on. 2 years at $2 million per year. But hey, get him at $1.725 million. As Tripp said, great value for the team.
It's like an Amazon Prime deal.
Maybe it was.
Yeah.
Maybe they Amazon Prime dealed it.
They did. That's what it is.
Let's go. Good job.
Thank you.
Great job. Great. That was 100% Victoria on that call right there.
It was a light bulb moment, and I thought, oh, it's during Amazon Prime Days. There you go.
And it arrived. Everyone's Prime deals should be arriving in the next 2 days.
I know, it's going to be on your doorstep. Yeah.
Should be arriving by the time arbitration begins. But speaking of Jack Drury and the value of the contract, well, Tripp Tracy also did continue to say that Drury earned the contract.
For Jack early last season to be thrust into a situation that he earned and then he did a great job with, of being utilized not only at 5-on-5 but in penalty killing and power play situations. I've seen him as a guy in the last couple of postseasons that he has the ability to elevate his game when the stakes become higher, when it's harder to make an impact. So I think this is a very, very good signing by the Hurricanes.
Jack did earn that playing time last season. And that's actually something that I thought was actually going to impact the decision regarding how much that he was going to get or maybe even asked for because of Evgeny Kuznetsov no longer being with the team. But he is competing for some playing time. And Tripp Tracy said that Jack Drury and Jesperi Kotkaniemi, it's going to be a healthy competition between those two.
But when I look at Jack and what he's established, and he's had to earn every bit of his very important standing on the Hurricanes, there are a couple of guys that are going to have a very healthy competition in the middle of the ice from that draft. Jack taken by the Hurricanes and Jesperi Kotkaniemi taken one pick after Svechnikov by the Montreal Canadiens at the time. Who is going to be the guy that earns the trust of the coach? And who is going to be the guy, while there's still that philosophical debate, you get to 24 years old, say, this is what you are. No, I don't think that that's necessarily true. It's, where do you take those next steps? So in a team sport where everybody's pulling on the rope for each other and together for Hurricane success, that's going to be an extremely healthy competition. When you think about Aho, you think about Jordan Staal, those other two centermen, and Jack and Jesperi Kotkaniemi. Ideally, both guys grab it and take some very sizable steps, but that will be the ideal healthy competition that you're looking for.
So both Kotkaniemi and Jack Drury were both drafted the same year, all right, 2018, just like Andrei Svechnikov. They're all in that same draft. Now, Svechnikov went 2, Kotkaniemi went 3. Jack Drury went in the second round. Now, Jack Drury played at Harvard, played collegiately for a couple years before eventually signing his entry-level contract, where guys like Kotkaniemi and Svechnikov went to the NHL right away. Now, Drury in the playoffs last year was the number 2 center behind Sebastian Aho in the playoffs because Kotkaniemi was relatively ineffective offensively and even got bumped over to the wing. And even towards the tail end of the regular season before Jesper Foss got injured, Jesperi Kotkaniemi was sitting in, again, the press box as a healthy scratch. Like, that's where he was. Like, he had fallen that far down. But now, with former Kane, Evgeny Kuznetsov, no longer being there, and one of the reasons why Jack Drury ended up being the number 2 center was because Kuznetsov was just basically ineffective defensively. He was a defensive liability. So Drury got playing time on a line with Martin Necas and Jordan Martinook. Like, that was the second line in the playoffs. So that way also Carolina could balance out some scoring a little bit because they had Andrei Svechnikov playing down with on Jordan Staal's line. So nonetheless, the value for Jack Drury did kind of go up, but also the need for both Drury and Kotkaniemi to raise their level of play, get it done. Like, You guys are young players. You guys should be entering towards the prime of your careers. They both scored the same amount of points last season. They both had 25, but each. They both had 25 each. Now, Kotkaniemi was in double-digit goals, but the assist numbers were lower than Drury's. Drury was 8 goals, 17 assists last year. They both scored 25 points. They both have to be, especially whomever that second-line guy is, they both got to be 40-plus point guys. Just have to be. In order for this team to continue to be successful, they got to be 40-plus point guys, in my opinion. Whether that comes 15 goals, 25 assists, or 20 and 20, 25, 15, it doesn't matter. They got to be 40-plus point guys. And Jesperi Kotkaniemi is being paid to be your number 2 center right now. That's why they let Vincent Trocheck go, because they thought they could be that with Jesperi Kotkaniemi, that he could step up and be at that level. Hasn't done so quite yet. All right, final thing here real fast. Victoria, go and pull up the soundbite real quick of Brian Windhorst talking about Team USA's win versus Serbia. But I want to just let everyone know, Serbia, USA, yesterday in Abu Dhabi, tune-up game for the Olympics. United States kind of put the boots to them, 105-79. It's like, oh, yeah, like they're there it is. There it is right there. There's the team leading all scorers. Steph Curry, 24 points yesterday in just 21 minutes of gameplay. That's the thing with the playing FIBA rules. Like, games are a little bit shorter, but also they're spreading out, all the playing time amongst all the guys out. So, Steph Curry played the most. He only played 21 minutes yesterday. Put up 24 points. 6 of 9 from behind 3. They have 4 guys in double figures. LeBron had 11. Anthony Edwards had 16. Bam Adebayo had 17. North Carolina's own Bam Adebayo. Anthony Davis, 6 blocks. 6 blocks. Here's Brian Windhorst, ESPN, talking about Team USA's win.
What is the definition of a great Team USA? How about Steph Curry scoring 18 points in 11 minutes, being taken out of the game at that point, and then the team coming on the floor actually playing better? That's what we saw against Serbia for the Americans on Wednesday night. This team is absolutely loaded. They have depth, they have firepower, and it really all came together in this game. We saw their second unit totally dominate with Ant Edwards, Anthony Davis getting 6 blocks, Devin Booker applying ball pressure, Bam Adebayo hitting 3 3-pointers. Those are guys that they are bringing in off the bench. Steve Kerr likes that, and he really likes the way they defended Nikola Jokic in this game. Just 6 of 19 for the reigning NBA MVP. That's the formula for this team to get gold in Paris next month.
So yeah, you're facing a Serbian team again with Nikola Jokic that some people consider to be a favorite to possibly get to in the medal round, to medal in the tournament. Probably go for a bronze, especially because Canada is, and Canada's basically an NBA roster led by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but you beat a really good team, and USA basketball clearly turning things around, and defensively is clearly where they're showing their teeth a little bit on the defensive end. This is the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox sitting in for Adam Gold this afternoon. Victoria is producing the show. Don't worry, we'll have updates throughout the show of the Open Championship. Don't worry, we will have that for you. But on the other side, because Victoria, 3 weeks from today, we'll see the Carolina Panthers on the field playing in a game. Now, I understand it's a preseason game, but it's 3 weeks from today.
Right. Football's coming.
It's just like winter's coming.
I know.
Football is coming. 3 reasons of concern for the Panthers defense going into training camp coming up.
Serving it up hot and fresh every day. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
It's the summer of soccer.
Federski for Capetti. It's stolen away by Hack. Kept alive by Gaines. A shot. He scores!
All the saves.
Polina with brilliant, quick footwork across his 6-yard box to be able to recover and grab the strike from Kubo.
All the goals.
He just sends it back into the area for Swiderski. One touch. He scores!
The Triangle's home for Charlotte FC action. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
It's Lee Come Key.
Welcome back to the Lee Come Key request line. Ready for something with a kick that's still smooth? Talk about a hot time at dinner time.
Crisscross.
This is America's #1 spicy mayo and non-GMO verified sriracha. It's the Sriracha Slide coming at you from Lee Kum Kee.
Turn it out.
Sriracha Slide on over to srirachalove.com to check it out.
Sriracha real smooth.
Drive into summer with a Honda CR-V and Accord. Your fun-to-drive, weekend getaway vehicles. And when you drive a Honda, you're driving with the 2024 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. So hurry in to the Honda Summer Event.
Contact your local Carolina Honda dealer for a great deal today.
See dealer for financing details based on 2024 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelley Blue Book. Visit kbb.com for more information.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
You're not going to want to miss this. Diamonds Direct summer sale starts this weekend. For 3 days only, this Friday through Sunday. Get 20% off rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. And designers are flying in from New York and LA to showcase their latest trends. That's 20% off, plus $100 off with an appointment and designer trunk shows. Tons of engagement rings on sale, too. 20% off starts Friday. Details at diamondsdirect.com. 3 days only and Sunday.
Doesn't the North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club give the best massages?
I've never felt so relaxed.
Thanks to this month's scratch-offs, this is our life now.
It's like winning again and again and again.
New $80 million cash blowout and triple red sevens mean new winners. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds winning range from 1 in 4.28 to 9.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
That'll be 30 even.
That's 90 points! Sorry, that was a lot. Now that I'm getting 3 times the points on food and fuel with the Navy Federal More Rewards American Express card, I get a little too hyped sometimes.
Cool. Would you like your receipt?
In the bag! Sorry. In the bag, please.
Learn more about the everyday, everywhere Navy Federal More Rewards American Express card at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This is Adam Gold.
I got news for you. If I see a hammerhead shark swimming near me in open water,
nope,
we're gone.
Bye.
We're done. I'll be on the dock.
I'm done. I've seen Jaws. You can't fool me.
Yeah, I'll be on the dock.
Yeah.
I'll be, or in the boat or something. I will not be.
Yeah.
I will not be in
No,
open
thank you.
water.
The Adam Gold Show.
Yeah, if I see a hammerhead shark, I'm not getting in the water either. I'm getting out.
No, thank you.
And I
Nope.
love swimming in the ocean.
Me too, but
I
nope.
love it.
I don't mess with that.
Wrightsville Beach is my go-to beach.
Oh, yeah.
If not, or Atlantic Beach, one of those two.
Yes, those are good
Those
go-tos.
Just Carolina, the beaches in the state of North Carolina are just awesome.
I know.
In and of itself.
It's great, but don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anyone. Send them all to Myrtle.
Yeah.
Send them all down to Myrtle.
Send them all to South Carolina, please and thank you.
Send them all do that.
South Carolina's a great state.
We got other things to get to here. Dennis Cox sitting in for Adam Gold today. This is the Adam Gold Show. Victoria producing the show as always. Victoria, 3 weeks from today. 3 weeks from today, we will see the Carolina Panthers in uniform on a football field playing in a preseason game.
I'm ready.
3 weeks from today.
I think. Hopefully. Maybe. I love them, but man, they cause me so much pain.
They do. They do. So in honor of 3 weeks, today later on in the show, we're actually going to do 3 things of maybe kind of areas of concern offensively for the Panthers, there's three areas of concern defensively for Carolina as we approach training camp, which, by the way, rookies report tomorrow. Woo. Don't worry. We're going to do three outlooks, and we're going to do some other stuff about Carolina Panthers tomorrow as well. But three areas of concern for the Panthers defense going into training camp, Victoria. Number one, it's depth at corner. Depth at corner. J.C. Horn is a stud. We all know that.
When he's healthy, yes.
Bingo. There it is. When he's healthy. When he is healthy. But once you get past that, Dane Jackson, whom the Carolina Panthers signed this offseason from Buffalo, has been an off and on starter in his career. But if Horn goes down, now you're asking him to cover other teams' number ones. Like, hey, go guard Mike Evans.
Right.
Go do that. Go guard Chris Olave.
We saw what it was like guarding
go guard
Mike
Drake
Evans.
London. Yeah, go guard Drake London or whomever it is.
Not good.
I don't think he's that. He's not that level. He's not. Now, if he's asked to guard another team's number two, fine. I'm okay with that. But that depth, it's not there. Because then maybe you're asking Troy Hill, who's more of a slot corner, which I actually really love what Troy Hill did as a slot corner as the season progressed last year. I really did. Maybe you ask him to bump outside, which then maybe you're asking Shaw Smith-Wade, your fifth-round rookie, to step in and be a slot corner as your nickel, like right away as a rookie. If he's able to do that, if he's capable, then great. But you're asking a fifth-round rookie to possibly now step in as well. Big question marks. Now, there's ways you can alleviate that. Stephon Gilmore's still floating around out there. You have Adoree Jackson is still out there. Patrick Peterson is still out there. Now, those guys are probably going to have options about where they want to go. And, if there's guys that get injured in training camps for other teams around the league, those teams might contact those guys I've just mentioned, be like, hey, guy just messed up his knee. We need a corner right now. Here's $3 million or $2 million, whatever it is. Like, here's what we can pay you. Maybe that's the situation that those guys are looking for. Like, hey, I can go play for a contender possibly right now. But those are your options. That's it. Maybe DiCaprio Bootle steps up, which, by the way, DiCaprio Bootle has the best name in the Carolina Panthers. The best name.
That's fun.
It's a great name.
I want to hear Xavier say his name. Xavier Leggett.
Oh, Leggett? Oh, yeah.
I just want to hear Xavier say anything, really.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in DiCaprio. All right, so that's number one. Number two, who's opposite of Jadeveon Clowney as an edge rusher? Now, DJ Wadham signed a 2-year contract at, I think it was $12.5 million total. DJ Wadham is still recovering from the quad injury. He had a partial quadriceps tear with the Minnesota Vikings towards the end of last season. It was right around Christmas, and he was still recovering and rehabbing during the offseason. That's the reason why he missed OTAs, because he was still rehabbing. He's still recovering. Now he was at the facility and at practices and those kinds of things, but rehabbing and training are two different things, two vastly different things. It's one thing to be healthy enough to play. It's another thing to be fit enough to perform. So how long is it going to take for DJ Wadham to be ready? Does he start the year on the physically unable to perform list, which potentially means that he cannot be on the roster at the start of the season? Every game's vital. So who's going to be opposite of Jadeveon Clowney? We actually saw DJ Johnson, the third-round pick from 2023, got hurt in training camp with a calf injury. Not during training camp, but during mandatory minicamp, got hurt with a calf injury. Luckily, it wasn't a knee or an Achilles or something along those lines, but nonetheless, still recovering from an injury that was suffered not too long ago. Also, major questions about what he's capable of doing. K'Lavon Chaisson, who the Panthers signed from the Jacksonville Jaguars, 1 year, $5 million. He's a former first-round pick, but in his 4 seasons in Jacksonville, he had 5 total sacks. That's it. Now, by all accounts, by people from his camp that are saying that, hey, you know what? He's in his best shape. He's refocused and, out there to prove himself of what he's capable of doing. Okay, great. Let's see it. And then there's guys like Amari Barno. Amari Barno, I love him, his physical skill set, but he's been mostly a special teams guy, former 6th-round pick out of Virginia Tech. He's awesome on special teams with his size and his speed. He's great. I love him what he does for that. But again, once you get outside of Jadeveon Clowney, who's opposite? It's supposed to be hopefully DJ Wonnum, but you don't even know if he's going to be healthy enough to actually fully go. Which gets me to my third one. Victoria, where does the playmaking come from this defense?
Good question.
Where does the playmaking come from this defense? That's what I want to know. The Panthers last season had one strip sack. One strip sack the entire season. It came on the third play of the first game against the Atlanta Falcons down in Atlanta. It was Brian Burns. Sacked Desmond Ridder, forced the ball away. Ridder recovered the ball, but that's the only time all season that they had a strip sack.
Yeah, and now we don't even have Burns.
Now you don't even have him.
Nope.
Now, one. They forced, remember correctly, it was just, as a defense, just forced 3 fumbles. Mm-hmm. That was it. That one that I just mentioned. I know they had one against the Houston Texans that they won, and then, if I remember correctly, there's like one other. But wait, where's the playmaking from defense coming from? Like, some of the better guys that you had aren't even there anymore. It's not like you got a ton of interceptions. I know, like, Troy Hill had a garbage time interception against the Miami Dolphins. Sam Franklin had the great pick 6 against the Minnesota Vikings, that 99-yarder. But again, there isn't a whole lot of splash plays that came from the defense last year, and I don't know where those are going to be coming from this year. Maybe it's Derek Brown. Maybe that's the next evolution of Derek Brown as a defensive lineman. He got the massive contract. Yes, he set a record last season for tackles by an interior defensive lineman at over 100. He was around the football a lot, which is great. Now, again, maybe a chunk of those tackles came when other teams were just running the football late in games because they had leads on the Panthers, and you're just trying to run clock. Protect the ball, run the clock. And Derek Brown was around to make a lot of tackles, which is good. Only had 2 sacks last season. Do we see maybe that number increase to 4, 5? Do we see more quarterback pressure, especially with a guy like A'Shawn Robinson next to him? Does A'Shawn Robinson maybe have a couple of forced fumbles during the season, a fumble recovery, maybe bats down or tips a pass at the line of scrimmage that Josie Jewell comes down with an interception? Those are things that I want to see more from the defense this season that they really didn't have last year. I want to see the elevation of more turnovers forced, easy for me to say, but also red zone defense as well. Like, their red zone defense last year was not very good. Their red zone defense was actually one of the bottom in the entire league in terms of touchdown percentage allowed.
Yeah.
So I want to see more playmaking from the defense this season. Where does that come from?
A lot is going to look different.
Big question mark.
I know.
Now, part of it might be if J.C. Horn's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to worry about shading safeties over to help, Dane Jackson cover number 1, which allows you to do other different, other things. You don't have to worry about that. He can lock down that other receiver and allows Ejiro Evero to do other things with the other 10 guys on the field. Maybe that's the key.
Yeah. I just hate that we have to think of the plan B in case he's hurt again, especially considering that he just got that new contract.
They were on plan B, C, D, and E, and F last year.
I know. And that's why I'm like, I hope you guys know what you're doing with the contract. Like, I love J.C. Horn. I just want him to be healthy. And the fact that that is such a big question mark, I was like, okay, well, hope you got them plan Bs through H's. Because we're going to need them. So, yeah.
Always a need for a plan B. This is the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox sitting in for Adam Gold today. Victoria producing the show, as always. On the other side, Victoria tees him up. One-timers.
Going beyond the box scores. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
ACT Construction Equipment is proud to be your certified local Takeuchi dealer in Charlotte, Winston-Salem, Asheville, Wilmington, and Myrtle Beach. Takeuchi has long been a world leader in the compact construction industry. Let ACT Construction Equipment help you find the right machine for the job. Our full line of excavators, track loaders, and attachments are designed for low maintenance and high productivity. Stop in today for a demo or visit us online at actce.com. ACT Construction Equipment, your authorized Takeuchi dealer.
The 2024 Atlantic hurricane season is predicted to be among the most active we've ever experienced. Prepare your home now against power outages of all types with a Generac home standby generator from Alternative Power. After sensing a power outage, a Generac generator automatically restores your home's power, helping protect you and your family. Act now for a free 10-year warranty on a Generac home standby generator. Terms and conditions apply. See more at alternativepower.com. Alternative Power, North Carolina's Generac experts.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
The new Bluebell Cookies and Cream Cheesecake is cheesecake ice cream with chocolate cookie crusted cheesecake pieces and chocolate cream filled cookies. Again, cheesecake ice cream with chocolate cookie crusted cheesecake pieces and chocolate cream filled cookies. Buy two.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
If you pay your city or town for electricity, you live in a public power community. Our public power providers in North Carolina keep the power on 99.9% of the time. That averages out to be less than 1 hour a year without power. Public power line workers who work day and night, rain or shine, are key to that unbeaten reliability. Better reliability, fewer outages, faster restoration. That's the value of public power. Learn more at electricities.com.
The North Carolina Zoo is celebrating 50 wild years in 2024. Voted top zoo in the nation, the North Carolina Zoo is centrally located in Asheboro. Bring your family for a day trip or a weekend excursion to connect with nature and make cherished memories. Discover towering giraffes, a herd of elephants, a crash of rhinos, and a flock of seabirds. Plus, ride an endangered species carousel and stroll through the exotic butterfly garden. Plan your next outdoor adventure at nczoo.org.
NC Medicaid is healthcare coverage for more North Carolinians. Just go to medicaid.nc.gov and fill out the needed information. Or call our Medicaid Contact Center. You can put pen to paper and fill out an application. And email, mail, or drop it off at your local Department of Social Services. And you can work with a navigator like Marvell at your local library. Don't wait, you can apply at any time and get covered starting the date of your application.
NC Medicaid is for more people. See if you qualify at medicaid.nc.gov.
Have you ever noticed how little things can make a big difference? Words like, I'm sorry. Like, can I help? Like, have a good day. And it never hurts to say thank you. Couple those words with a big smile and you've got a good chance to make someone's day. In North Carolina, we have always taken pride in being kind to everybody. Little things do make a difference. Makes you feel better. Makes everyone around you feel better.
This is Adam Gold.
That answer fails on so many levels. Part of me wants to start the answer again and then stop it after each time. Is that a good idea, Victoria?
No.
That's great. Did you do that on purpose?
I did.
You did? At the end, that was brilliant.
The Adam Gold Show.
You know why I'm hot?
Because it's hot outside.
It's hot outside.
Yeah.
It stinks.
It's 1,000 degrees outside.
Which, by the way, I know people listening here across the state of North Carolina, I know there's potential really across the state for some really bad weather and potential flooding and such throughout the day today. So please be safe out there.
Yeah.
I know from where we are here in the Triangle that I think some of the storms might be rolling through like 4, 5, 6 o'clock. Potential hail and some really winds and things along those lines. So
not fun.
Unfortunately, here in the state of North Carolina, we are used to bad weather with hurricanes and stuff coming through, but doesn't mean we're like it. Doesn't mean it's fun.
No.
Doesn't mean it's any good. But nonetheless, everyone stay safe out there, whether it's bad, wet, rainy weather or the heat. Stay cool out there, folks.
All of it.
But until then, Victoria tees up one-timers.
Love the dramatic
Now,
music.
I don't have a great slap shot. I really don't, but I can snap a wrister for you. So what do we got?
Well, let's see. This is a mixed bag. So, kicking off.
Let's go.
I know you talked earlier about vet players in any sport kind of, needing to rally around rookies.
Yes.
So for
Rookies
the betterment,
and young stars.
right, for the betterment of the sport itself. So is there an example that you have of someone, thinking off the top of your head, a vet who actually did mentor a rookie in a good way and you saw that actually help the league in whatever league?
That's a really good question. Kind of like that passing of the torch, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
Someone that we kind of pops into mind. I know Mario Lemieux passing the torch on to guys like Sidney Crosby. In Pittsburgh, I was trying to think of something here maybe locally that maybe kind of gave us that a little bit. That's a great question.
Thank you.
That's the one thing is these. I don't know these questions when Victoria asked them. Now I'm stalling to figure out.
And I hate to say the one thing that I could think recent, which he didn't have much time, but at least appeared that he was trying to do this, was actually Aaron Rodgers with Zach Wilson. Last season.
Oh, last season?
It looked like he was trying to help it.
He wasn't.
Maybe?
He wasn't.
I don't know. Or he was just trying to be relevant. But
not at all.
That was what he appeared to do.
Here. He wasn't doing anything of the sort. I will say this. Patrick Mahomes when Alex Smith. So Alex Smith was the starting quarterback in a playoff team in Kansas City when they drafted Patrick Mahomes 10th overall. And the Chiefs traded up to draft Mahomes back in 2017. So Alex Smith embraced it as opposed to, I don't want this young guy taking my spot. I think Alex Smith kind of understood. Hey, I get it. I understand what's happening here. He was in San Francisco when Colin Kaepernick eventually became the starting quarterback. So he embraced it and taught Patrick Mahomes how to be a pro. And that's something that Patrick Mahomes has talked about before, that because he was able to sit and learn from Alex Smith, but Alex Smith really took him under his wing and taught him how to be a pro and to, even just the stuff on the field, like how to read defenses and all those things. It's funny because Patrick Mahomes even said that he was in his second year in the league, or second year as a starter, but still early in his career. He's like, I still didn't know how to identify a Mike linebacker. It's like, dude, you're one of the best ever already, and you didn't even know something basic and fundamental as that. Mm. So these are all things that Alex Smith really helped teach Patrick Mahomes. So that's probably the most recent example that I can truly think of. It's all right, old guy, let me pass the torch and teach the young guy the ways, and then moving forward.
I would definitely want to be the rookie that Patrick Mahomes is teaching me the ways if I were
10 years from now. Yeah, why not,
exactly.
Right?
He's still got 25 years. So moving on to the ice with Jack Drury. Mm-hmm. So we know he signed his 2-year contract yesterday, made it official, ink on paper. Now, I know Trip Tracy also talked about him, having a healthy competition with Kotkaniemi. Do you think this is what Kotkaniemi needs to be that dude that we've needed him to be, or is he just not that dude?
I think he needs it. I mean, both of those can be true, possibly. I think he definitely needs it, and he even acknowledged in his exit interview, Jesperi Kotkaniemi, with the media. I can't repeat the words that he said, but it was a pretty bleep season. He even just straight acknowledged he's like, terrible year. Mm-hmm. Basically is what he says. I kind of started off good, but it just forgettable season by him. And I think the wake-up really happened was sitting in the press box as a healthy scratch towards the end of the regular season. Mm-hmm. And the only reason why he actually got back in the lineup was because Jesper Foss got hurt in that final regular season game. That's what actually put Kotkaniemi back in the lineup. So maybe that's the wake-up call. There's still, for what he's paid to be, I don't see it. Now, I actually thought when he was playing as on a fourth line as a physical presence and stuff in the playoffs, I actually thought he did that really well. I actually thought he did that extremely well. But he's not paid to be that. You're not paying a fourth liner $4.8 million just to have a few hits, that in the postseason. Hopefully this is that kick in the pants for him. Because a lot of people see it in him. There's a reason why he was drafted 3rd overall. let's see him actually hit that potential.
I sure hope so.
I hope so too.
Well, is there?
If he does, Canes can elevate significantly.
I know. Well, Canes, we've seen a lot of people leave, exit the team. So, is there a player that you feel would fit in well with maybe a gap that the team still has on the roster that's actually still available that may not be?
A guy that's currently available that can fill a hole in the roster? There isn't.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Free agency's dried up. The only way that you can really do that is if you go the trade route, which is something that Carolina can still continue to explore. The trade deadline isn't until March. That's the thing. This roster, I think the roster, the way it is constructed currently at this moment, is not the roster we're going to see at the end of the year. I think we'll see trades in some way, shape, or form during the regular season. So this roster is not done yet. I mean, gosh, 2 days ago or beginning of the week, we thought Evgeny Kuznetsov was probably going to be the second line center. Now he's no longer with us. I mean, I say that he's no longer with the team.
Right. He's still alive.
He's still alive. But there's just no one still out there, because if they were out there and they were available, I think the Canes would have signed that person already.
Okay. And last up, so moving on to the football field. Cannot wait for season to start. So we were talking about the Carolina Panthers earlier. Is there a player on the defense that the Carolina Panthers still has that you think should step up this season? The most, I guess.
Step up the most? Is it weird to say that it's Derek Brown? Is it? I mean, in all honesty, it's wait, Derek Brown. Like, Derek Brown's not only probably your best defensive player, he might be your best player overall right now. Right now, at this moment. Where's the playmaking going to come from the team? I know we talked about it a little bit ago. I think Derek Brown has to be the tone setter for that. If he can wreak havoc from the middle of the field, as whether it's getting a push in the pocket on passing plays, forcing quarterbacks to scramble, which allows guys like Clowney or Wanham or whomever to chase down and get sacks, or flushes the quarterback out of the pocket and they make erratic passes and then you may get some interceptions where it might be. That could be caused by Derek Brown getting that pressure up the middle. Maybe he himself forces a couple of fumbles, in the run game this season, or even there's a short pass over the middle of the field that someone's getting wrapped up. He comes from behind, punches the ball out. So to me, I think it's Derek Brown. I think he's getting paid to be that difference maker. He has to be that for this team now.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what he does this year. Now that he's settled in, I'm excited.
It's the next step in his evolution as a player. This is the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox sitting in for AG this afternoon. Victoria producing the show. 1 hour down. On the other side, I continue to apologize to Adam Gold. We'll also have the latest on the Open Championship. But also at 1:15, I'm going to have the ultimate college football schedule for you coming up in North Carolina.
Serving it up hot and fresh every day. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Golf's final major will be found on 99.9 The Fan. Listen all week long as we cover the Open Championship from Royal Troon. Find out if Brian Harmon can go back-to-back or if a new champion emerges. Depend on us for constant leaderboard updates and every big moment through the presentation of the Claret Jug. Coverage of the Open Championship on 99.9 The Fan is teed up by McConnell Golf with 16 top-ranked courses, the best private club value from the mountains to the coast.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Hey, contact lens wearers, are you tired of wasting time and money every day putting contacts in, taking them out, cleaning, ordering new ones, glasses, prescription sunglasses? Dr. Lori Travers and Travers LASIK can change your life. About 5 minutes per eye. You could go back to work the very next day. 2 years, zero interest financing is available, and $1,000 off is available. 919-510-6830. 6830, 919-510-6830. Make the call. You can go online, traverslasik.com.
What are you doing? Eating caviar. Yuck. Get this. Supreme 7 scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery have the best odds to win $400 with a $4 million top prize. So I'm learning to enjoy rich people stuff.
Okay, let me try. Gross. What's next?
Ballroom dancing.
I'll lead.
New Supreme 7s, a shot at supreme riches. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.18. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
I was choosing alcohol over my family. That's when I made the call. Now I'm finding better ways to cope.
Mental health care works when you make the call. Visit mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
Planning an engagement? Now's the time. It's Bailey's Fine Jewelry's spectacular engagement ring blowout. 3 days only. Engagement rings, loose diamonds, and wedding bands. Up to 60% off. You'll be blown away by the huge selection of diamond sizes and engagement ring styles near cost, at cost, even below cost. Bailey's Engagement Ring Blowout. July 25th through 27th in Raleigh, Cary, Rocky Mount, and Greenville. Learn more at BaileyBox.com.
The best summer savings for golfers is now at Global Golf in Raleigh. This week only, save up to 60% on all tailor-made pre-owned golf clubs. Global Golf is home to Carolina's largest selection of pre-owned golf gear. Whether you need some new grips, professional lessons, or wanting to trade in your current clubs, swing by Global Golf at 7320 ACC Boulevard. Don't miss amazing summer sales and more at Global Golf, home to the best deals in golf.
As a roofer, I don't have time to fail. Homeowners rely on me, so I rely on Beacon. Beacon's unique network of branches work together to get me what I need when I need it. And with the Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like GAF, right at my fingertips. Now through September 15th, purchase high-quality GAF with Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $1,500. Go to BECN.com or download the Beacon Pro Plus app today. Beacon, always building.
This hour of buzzer-beating, nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat sports action on 99.9 The Fan is powered by
Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Visit GotBryan.com.
That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
You're listening to The Adam Gold Show on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Well, as a past champion, I'm exempt till I'm 60. Colin's not. He's not a past champion, so he's not exempt. So he doesn't get the opportunity to make that decision. I do. So when I get to be at his age, I still make that decision when he doesn't.
It is every athlete's decision, well, generally, where you're a guy like Tiger, like when he wants to stop playing, he can stop playing. I mean, that's his choice.
I love the spicy clapbacks.
And and I was fine with that. And I think Colin Montgomery, who earlier in the week in the press conferences leading up to the Open Championship out there in Scotland at Royal Troon golf club. Of course, it does, right? Sounds very regal. Royal Troon.
The Royal Troon. Sorry.
I could not have said it any better. I could normally know as a senior PGA Tour. Like, go ahead and join that. But it basically alluded to like Tiger should retire. Like, go ahead, just go ahead and stop, man. Like, you can't do it anymore. You can't compete. Let someone else have that spot. And Tiger's like, I'm exempt until the age of 60 because I've won this. Colin, you haven't. So basically, what you just heard introducing this hour of the Adam Gold Show. By the way, Dennis Cox sitting in for Adam Gold today, Victoria producing the show. It is his decision about when he wants to stop playing. And I think also for us as well, I think for most of us, I think we're all on board and thinking like, yeah, you know what? Tiger doesn't have it anymore. And other than a few years ago when he won the Masters and he kind of gave us that like little glimmer of hope once again, like, oh, maybe he is actually back. Like, no, actually that was throwback day. Like that was retro night.
Yes.
That's what I was like. Oh, it's 90s night. That's what that was. And people are kind of hoping, like, you know what? I'm not going to expect it, but I'm going to hold hope. Maybe Tiger Woods could just push the sun back above the horizon one more time, and we get that little, maybe the clouds will part, and we'll get that one ray of sunshine one more time before it actually sets. That's what I think people were hoping for. But in terms of, like, when he wants to retire, that's on him. That's his call.
Yeah, he's earned it.
That's his call. Exactly. He's earned it. He has the exemptions. He has the legacy. Yeah, he might get a few sponsor exemptions to come to some things like that maybe later on in his career, but he's won so darn much that he doesn't need them. And also, he's Tiger.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think the expectation is, you know what? Enjoy it while you can see him play.
Yeah, exactly.
It was cool that Tiger Woods was down at Pinehurst here in the state of North Carolina for the U.S. Open. I was fortunate to be down there for a day when we were down there covering the event the same day the Adam Gold show was taking place down there. And it was kind of cool, like, just to see the buzz and all that kind of stuff. It's like, man, like, there's Tiger.
I know,
like,
right? That's him.
There's that guy. I remember being in, like, middle school and high school watching you just dominate.
Yeah. All the videos of his, like, victory dances, moves.
Yeah, well, just his dances, his celebrations, however you want to do it. But the iconic Sunday red polo, like, that was a thing.
Oh yeah,
that was a thing, and it was amazing how Nike red polo shirts took off sales-wise,
skyrocketed.
Because of him.
Yep.
And yeah, he can retire whenever he wants.
Maybe he wants to pull LeBron James and play with his son one day. Maybe he's holding out.
Get right on a PGA Tour event.
You never know.
You know what?
Wait for Charlie. I don't know.
If Tiger's exempt till age 60, and if Charlie qualifies for a major,
he's already trying.
You're gonna have it. Like you're gonna have that. Which
I'll be here for it.
Yeah, you know what?
Why
Put
not?
him in the same grouping.
Why not?
Put him in the same group. Hey, Dad, watch this.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what? That actually might bring the best out of Tiger. It's like, son.
Oh yeah, sit down. You don't want the smoke. Okay?
Exactly. Hey, I'm still your dad.
Yeah.
Still your father. That actually would be kind of cool. It's
it
like,
would be.
Just.
Yep.
Charlie gets sunned
by
his dad on the golf course. Like, give me that, please. That's the father-son pro that I want.
Yes. You can't work up to red. You got to wear pink polos until you get to my level. Then
purple,
you can wear
whatever it is. You got to wear nothing but black and white.
Red. Yeah.
That's all you get. You get fuchsia. By the way, Open Championship in Scotland taking place right now. Justin Thomas, still the leader in the clubhouse. He teed off early today, really early. But a lot of people, when they were just waking up, if you slept in a little bit this morning, he was done. 3 under today. Xander Schauffele climbing up the leaderboards. He is 3 under through 11 holes. Shane Lowry actually birdied both 7 and 8 to get to 3 under as well. He's 3 under through 10. So those are your leaders as of right now. At 2 under, Alex Doran, Nikolai Holgaard, Justin Rose, Russell Henley. Those guys are all 2 under in the clubhouse. Guys that are still on the course that are 2 under, Matthew Jordan, Brooks Koepka, Mackenzie Hughes, Daniel Brown. There's a host of other people that are at 1 under in the clubhouse as well. Sepp Straka is still on the course at 1 under. He's on his final hole. But there's a whole bunch of guys that are still kind of floating around even at even par. Tony Finau was at even par through his round today. There's some guys that are actually on the course right now that are still pretty early in their round that are still floating around at even par as well. Patrick Cantlay is at +1 through 11. Jordan Spieth +1 through 10. Cam Young also +1 through 10. So there's a lot of guys that are still in that group. There isn't that massive wide gap like we saw at the U.S. Open where there was like eventually we got to basically there's 5 guys, 6 guys that were under par or maybe around even. Then everyone else was +12, it felt like. There was a sizable gap. But where we are currently sitting right now is those 3 guys, Justin Thomas, Xander Schauffele, and Shane Lowry, all 3 under right now. But Schauffele and Lowry on the course. Brooks Koepka is 2 under on the day. He's been kind of hit and miss. He bogeyed 2 and 3, but then he answered back with actually 4 straight birdies. He birdied 4, 5, 6, and 7, got to 2 under. Then he actually bogeyed 9th, but then he birdied 11th. So he's been kind of like up and down. Hasn't really been even today, for lack of a better term. But back-to-back bogeys on 2 and 3, then 4 straight birdies, then a bogey on 9th, birdie on 11. So he's been up and down a little bit today. I said this earlier when we started the show, Victoria, and I still catch myself, looking up here at the TV monitor here in the studio. Just the visuals of the Open Championship or the British Open to me is just so fun because these courses are so different than anything we get here in the United States.
Yeah.
The weather conditions. I mean, if you've been playing golf here in the U.S., it's hot, it's sticky, it sucks.
Yeah.
But then you go overseas, to Scotland or Royal Troon, and it's 62 degrees.
I know.
Whatever it is.
As of right now, is he wearing a long sleeve shirt?
Oh, yeah. Like,
that
all
makes
these guys
me
are
sweat
wearing
just
long
looking
sleeves.
at
I know, right? Like, I see people wearing, like, hoodies and jackets and things along those lines because it's still wet weather. And,
Right.
And it just, I'm
Nope.
like, oh, gosh, I can only imagine.
No.
Like, it looks like November.
I have got the thinnest rain jacket for the rain we may potentially see today, and
Yeah.
it makes me, like, melt thinking
Just
about
sweat
it.
thinking about it. You know what? It's like a fighter cutting weight for for a
Exactly.
fight. Like, they put on what they call plastics. Basically
Uh-huh.
put on, like, plastic
Looks like
pants.
trash bags with
Yeah,
holes.
Basically, it's like trash
Mhm.
bags, like plastic jacket, plastic pants,
Mhm.
and they do some like light sparring stuff, hitting mitts, and that's how they
Go on
sweat
the
out a bunch
treadmill.
of stuff.
Yep.
Just to cut weight for a fight.
It's me wearing a rain jacket.
Yeah, that's all of us. It's all of us right now. But it's the visual of it is so wild because the course, again, like I said, looks nothing like we get here in the States. There are these random bunkers in the middle of fairway that look like potholes, and they're 10 feet deep.
Yes.
They seem like, and there's these massive walls.
Also
and just,
familiar with that on my drive in and out.
also known
It's
as
very similar.
at Capitol Boulevard in Raleigh. That's basically what they're playing on is Capitol Boulevard. But you see guys that will putt from be like 60, 70 yards away from the hole, and it's just kind of like hilly to get there. They're putting. It's just you don't get anything like it. So the spectacle of it really is fascinating for me. And that's also just part of the fun of sports.
Yeah.
Is the spectacle of it, the visuals. I'm curious to see if a guy like Shane Lowry, who's from Ireland and played in these conditions growing up. I mean, this kind of stuff favors guys like him. It's like, this is home basically
Yeah.
for me.
I know. Well, that's why I was wondering if Rory was doing okay, because apparently he does well in, like, not great conditions, but...
Oh, yeah, speaking of Rory, I do have to issue an apology for Rory McIlroy. Or actually not an apology to Rory. I need to issue an apology to Adam Gold. So yesterday, when we did Place Your Bets, which is at 1:45 every single day on this show, I said, you know what? Give me Rory McIlroy. He was the second in terms of betting odds, plus 850. Only Scotty Scheffler had better odds of winning. I was like, give me Rory to win this. Give me Rory. I'll take it. I want to do this for Adam.
He's going to come back strong after that embarrassment.
Doing it for Adam. Exactly. He's going to bounce back from that U.S. Open where he crumbled in the final 4 holes. No, he's 7 over today.
That's not great.
Not great, Bob.
Nope.
So, Adam, I'm sorry. I was trying to do one solid for you. I apologize. By the way, speaking of Scotty Scheffler, who was the betting favorite coming into this, he was also the betting favorite going into the U.S. Open. Scotty Scheffler, even through 10 holes.
Okay.
That's fine. You're 3 strokes back of the lead.
Sure.
That's fine.
Yep.
That's totally fine. Stay even.
Yeah.
Heck,
Anything can happen.
Even get the 1 under.
Yeah.
Like, just don't screw it up. Don't fall off the cliff.
Don't pull a Rory from the Open.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Scotty Scheffler actually bogeyed his first hole, and then he actually he parred the second, then he birdied the third, and he's just been par ever since.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine. Like, it's okay to just be consistent.
Sure.
That's okay, too. Because eventually things will start to separate.
You don't want to play catch up.
Yeah. Things will start to separate. Again, the leaders are only at 3 under as of right now. This is the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox sitting in for Adam Gold today. It's crazy to think. I know football season's rolling around. Next week, we're going to be in ACC Media Day. Starting next week, the Adam Gold Show will be there. On the other side, you know what? It's time to start planning Saturdays in the fall. Saturdays.
I'm ready.
In the fall. I'm going to give you the ultimate schedule for college football in the state of North Carolina and how to plan every single football Saturday for you coming up.
Raleigh to Boone, Charlotte to Chapel Hill. Your Carolina is covered. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
As we continue to get more and more behind-the-scenes info on how the trades happened this offseason for the Panthers, it becomes more and more obvious they may have gotten swindled in the Brian Burns trade, which is a problem when you consider he was their biggest trade asset that they could turn into value. So if the Giants got the best of him, it's going to be all about finding a way to get it back.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 3 to 6 on 99.9 The Fan.
Aren't you ready right now to walk into your boss's office, hand him your key card, carry your stuff out, and just go and do what you want to do the rest of your life? Wait, you're not ready? You're ready emotionally. You're ready to do that. You're ready to get up in the morning and work for yourself. But can you do it financially? Let's find out. Coach Pete D'Arruda, Capital Financial Advisory Group in Apex. He can design a plan for you so you can retire when you're ready. Maybe you're ready now emotionally, but you got to be ready financially. Capital Financial Advisory Group in Apex. Coach Pete D'Arruda, best-selling author on retirement planning books and the preeminent expert on retirement planning. All you have to do is text Adam to 600-700, get to Coach Pete and his merry band of fiduciaries. They're legally obligated to consider your needs before theirs. In other words, they're not just working on commission, and they can help you get to retirement with enough to do whatever it is you want to do. Capital Financial Advisory Group in Apex. Text today.
Hungry for flavor and value? Then it's Bo time. Nothing slays the hunger beast like some of that bodacious Bojangles flavor. And there's never been a better time to satisfy your Bojangles sandwich cravings than now. With Bojangles Summer Sandwich lineup, you can choose a flavorful Cajun fried chicken filet sandwich, or a tender Cajun grilled chicken filet sandwich, or a crispy Cajun filet club sandwich, or a tasty Bo's chicken sandwich. Make it a sandwich combo and add your choice of a side. Maybe Bojangles seasoned fries, dirty rice, or Cajun pintos. And to complete the perfect meal, Bojangles legendary iced tea. There's a Bojangles sandwich combo for everyone in the family. Summer just doesn't get any better than that. What are you waiting for? You know you're hungry, and you know you want flavor and value. So, it's Bojangles Sandwich Combo time.
Picture this, the perfect summer barbecue. No stress, no responsibilities, just all your friends, burgers sizzling, hot dogs cooking, Pepsi Zero Sugar fizzing, and a backyard of very, very happy people. Oh yeah, we could get used to this. Very, very used to this. Grilling, better with Pepsi.
For a limited time, get 2 20-ounce Pepsis for only $4.25 at Refuel. So hurry in and enjoy an ice-cold Pepsi today.
This is Monster Jam. Witness big air, two-wheel skills, backflips, and all-out racing. It's the only place to see the world's best riders tear up the dirt in your favorite Monster Jam trucks, like Gravedigger, El Toro Loco, Megalodon, and more. It's big-time fun for the whole family. Monster Jam, as big as it gets. Coming to PNC Arena July 27th and 28th. Brought to you by BKT Tires and Gray Clips. Visit monsterjam.com today.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up for our 5th grade class recital, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-stress performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through December 28th, Castrol Edge and Edge High Mileage Motor Oil are on rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on sequence 9 test under high-load conditions versus API SP test limits.
This is Adam Gold.
I had no idea John is a Cubs fan, too.
Yeah, I think that's a prerequisite to being the head coach at Duke. I made one comment about the Cubs to Mike Krzyzewski. Goes back a while ago. Talked about the pitching staff, and he goes, yeah, but I don't trust Victor Zambrano. Like, what?
The Adam Gold Show.
Like we're getting St. Louis hip hop today.
I know.
I'm digging it.
It's a vibe.
You know, one thing that I will say when it comes to music nowadays, I think Victoria, you and I actually talked about this the other day. Maybe I can't remember if it was you and I, but I had a conversation with somebody the other day about how music, very much, especially in the world of hip hop, used to be very regionalized in terms of sound.
Oh yeah, big time.
Like Southern California, West Coast had a distinct sound. New York had a distinct sound. State of North Carolina had its own distinct sound. You go down into New Orleans, it had its own vibe and different sound. You just heard Nelly, like St. Louis, everyone kind of had like their own little regional sound, and like just. Like you may not have understood, like, or knew who the song was or who the artist was, but you can kind of pick up. You're like, all right, that sounds like someone from New Orleans, or that sounds like something from L.A. or something from St. Louis, or even here in North Carolina. So that's something that's kind of lost nowadays. But I actually kind of had the idea of when I was thinking about that the other day, and I was like, college football season's coming up because we're going to be at ACC Media Days next week, Victoria. And I thought to myself, you know what? What's the ultimate college football schedule here for the state of North Carolina? So here's what I did. If you want to go watch a college football game every Saturday during the college football season and never have to leave the state of North Carolina, here's the ultimate schedule.
Oh, I like it.
Here's the ultimate schedule for you. So break out the calendars.
Yes. I'm ready.
This is the ultimate schedule for you. Now, here's what I did. I tried to make sure that every Division I school, I even included the FCS schools as best as I could, you get to a home game at every single school. Home game at every single school. So I'm talking State, Carolina, Duke, Wake, App, ECU, Charlotte, even Davidson, Central, Campbell, A&T, like I tried to make sure we got everybody included as best as I could. I also tried to make sure that these games included other opponents from inside the state of North Carolina.
Those are always fun.
So that's the thing. Like, this is as much North Carolina, inside of North Carolina matchups as possible. So it actually all starts August 29th, Thursday, Western Carolina at NC State. I get two in-state matchups. I get Western Carolina, the western part of the state, taking on someone from the eastern part of the state. That's how you start things off, right? So there's a home game for NC State right there. Go next week. You know what? Again, this is not like the best game of that weekend. This is the ultimate schedule to watch games in the state of North Carolina. September 7th, Campbell's on the road at Western Carolina. So Campbell goes from Bowie's Creek all the way out to the border to take on Western Carolina. So you get the Camels versus the Catamounts. So that's week 2. That's September 7th. September 14th, week 3, App State at ECU. App State, I mean, that's just a game. I cannot wait for that game anyway.
That'll be really fun.
I cannot wait. I mean, ECU going to App was awesome. Now, App coming down the mountain. Victoria, I know you went to App.
I did.
Your Mounties coming down the
We
mountain.
love our football. Yes.
Going down to ECU, who loves their football.
Yeah.
Oh, the atmosphere is going to be awesome at Dowdy Field.
It's going to be really fun.
Going to be awesome.
Lots of tailgating.
Tons.
That's one thing we also love is football and tailgating.
A lot of Mountain Brew and Pirate Brew.
Yeah.
A lot of just black beer cans and purple beer cans.
Yep.
All over Greenville.
Black and gold, purple and gold.
It's going to be a ton of it. You know what? Just wear yellow.
And you're good.
And
you're neutral.
You're good. You're great.
Yep.
Just wear yellow.
You don't have a side.
All right, so that's the next game. All right, so again, week 1, that Thursday night, Western Carolina at NC State. Then week 2, Campbell at Western Carolina. Week 3, App State at ECU. September 21st, week 4, NC Central hosting North Carolina A&T. Aggie Eagle Classic.
Those are always
Aggie Eagle
good
Classic.
too.
Need I say more?
Bring the band.
It's the Aggie Eagle Classic. Yes, that too.
I was also a band nerd, so I appreciate good marching bands.
There it is.
Let's go.
I saw the A&T marching band at Duke when they played a couple seasons ago.
Oh, yeah.
Phenomenal.
So good.
Phenomenal. Speaking of Duke, September 28th, UNC at Duke, September 28th. Another in-state matchup. The following week, October 5th, East Carolina on the road at Charlotte. So that's actually an American Athletic Conference matchup now because Charlotte's in the American. So now it's an in-state and it's conference matchup. We just had one previously with UNC at Duke. Now the next one, this is for a UNC home game. Again, I tried to make sure that every school in the state of North Carolina that you can go to a home game and hopefully play against a North Carolina opponent. October 12th, not going to be able to truly make that work. It's Georgia Tech at North Carolina, but you still get to go to a home game at Chapel Hill. Okay? So that's the whole purpose of this. Now, the following week, October 19th, once again, a little bit difficult. The Davidson, shout out to the Wildcats, hosting Stetson, but you get to go watch a game at Davidson. October 26th, the following week, looking at week 9 here, North Carolina A&T at Campbell. So the Aggies head down to Bowie's Creek from Greensboro to take on Campbell. So now you get another home game between two schools in the state of North Carolina. Now the following week, it's actually a Thursday night game. We still got to get out to Kid Brewer, Victoria. Still got to get out to Kid Brewer. App State hosting Coastal Carolina. Now I know that's not an in-state matchup, but at least we're still in the Carolinas a little bit, right? And of course, we're always going to take North Carolina over South Carolina.
Yes.
So we're rooting for the Mountaineers.
No doubt.
Against the Chanticleers.
None whatsoever.
But that's a Thursday. That's a Thursday, November 7th.
There you go.
Okay? So far, we've gotten home games at NC State, Western Carolina, ECU, NC Central, Duke, Charlotte, UNC, Davidson, Campbell, Elon, App. The following week, we got to go to Gardner-Webb.
Of course.
November 16th, they host Tennessee State. Now, I tried to get an in-state matchup. Didn't quite work, but we still get to go watch a game at Gardner-Webb. Now, we've had A&T on the road a couple of times. Well, guess what? We've had Elon. Actually, I think I missed this one. A&T at Campbell. But then actually November 2nd, Campbell at Elon. So Campbell going from Bowie's Creek up to Burlington to take on the Phoenix. So Elon, we got a home game now. Coastal at App. Gardner-Webb hosting Tennessee State. And then on November 23rd, Elon on the road at A&T.
Oh,
so a triad matchup.
Yeah.
Just a bus ride down the road.
336.
Bingo.
Love it. My old stomping
Exactly.
grounds.
Your old stomping grounds. And then finally, close things off. Still need Wake Forest needs a home game, right?
Oh, yeah.
Wake Forest at home against Duke.
Oh, that'll be good.
Wake Forest at home against Duke. So that is the ultimate schedule.
Deeks and Demons.
The ultimate schedule.
I like
Blue
it.
Devils versus Demon Deacons. So again, to recap, for the state of North Carolina, I just had a lot of fun doing this because I love college football here in the state of North Carolina.
Me too.
I just love college sports in the state of North Carolina. It's our identity as a state. People look at like, oh, you guys have great college sports down there. You're damn right.
Oh, of course we do.
You're damn right we do.
And we do
So
it well.
again, August 29th, Western Carolina at NC State. So you got the state home game. September 7th, Campbell at Western Carolina. Get the Western Carolina home game. September 14th, App State at ECU. ECU home game, banger of a matchup. I cannot, gosh, that's
going to be good.
That's one of the games I'm looking forward to most this season. Cannot wait for that.
Yeah.
Really can't wait. September 21st, North Carolina A&T at NC Central. Get the Aggie Eagle Classic. September 28th, UNC at Duke. It's UNC and Duke. Which, by the way, double overtime game last season at UNC.
Yep.
Double OT game. You never know what kind of fireworks you're going to get possibly this season in the first year under Manny Diaz as head coach at Duke. So then we also have October 5th, ECU at Charlotte. So I got a Charlotte home game. October 12th, Georgia Tech at UNC. And now I got a UNC home game. Stetson at Davidson on October 19th. Got a Davidson home game. Shout out to the Wildcats. October 26th, North Carolina A&T at Campbell. So now I got a Campbell home game. November 2nd, Campbell at Elon. I got an Elon home game. Thursday, November 7th, your Mountaineers at home against Coastal. Now I got a game at Kid Brewer. November 16th, Tennessee State at Gardner-Webb. I got a home game for Gardner-Webb. November 23rd, Elon at North Carolina A&T. I got a home game for the Aggies. And to cap it off, home game for Wake Forest and Winston-Salem. They host Duke on November 30th. There's your ultimate schedule.
Love it.
To watch home college football games in the state of North Carolina. You never have to leave the state. You can watch every school in the state of North Carolina. And for the most part, you're going to have in-state matchups.
Yeah.
That's as good as it gets, folks.
Man.
That's as good as it gets.
Just talking about it, I can feel the fall air. I love fall so much.
Oh,
so
as do
when
I.
you're like talking about October and November and football. I just cannot wait.
Well, that's the reason why I love watching the Open Championship.
I know, because it feels like fall when you look at it.
Because it looks like fall. It's like, man, you know what? That looks like it'd be a great game. Honestly, it looks like early October out there in Boone.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what it looks like. Oh, it's 62 degrees.
And it's gray.
It's gray. It's kind of rainy a little bit. There you go. Just watch the Open Championship and think about at football.
Mm-hmm.
Like
King Street.
That's what that is.
Mm-hmm.
But I've grown to have even more of an appreciation for college football here in the state of North Carolina. I actually said it was 2022. I think was the best year of college football in the state of North Carolina because Duke, ECU, NC State, Wake Forest, Carolina all made bowl games. App went 6-6. I think it was Davidson, Elon, and I think Garner-Webb all made the FCS playoffs. NC Central won the Celebration Bowl against Jackson State. It was just, there was so much that happened in the state of North Carolina. So you really look at it in sense of bowl games and postseason. 9 schools made postseason in the state of North Carolina. Like college football between FBS and FCS. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like that is absolutely outstanding, including, again, a championship by NC Central. Shout out to Trey Oliver and NC Central.
I love it.
I want to see what we had in 2022 again this year, if not even better. I want even better. And even that season, 2022, we saw UNC play in the ACC championship game against Clemson. College football season here in the state of North Carolina should be a great one.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot wait.
And I'm ready to see what they do with their teams because, a lot of our schools locally at least lost some key players, over the last year. So it'll be interesting to see how they adjust.
So, again, that's your ultimate college football schedule here in the state of North Carolina coming up. By the way, real quick update here on the Open Championship. Shane Lowry, now the leader, 4 under through 11.
Okay.
He had a chip up onto the green just now to set himself up for a par putt on 12. Xander Schauffele's still at 3 under, but he took his tee shot on 14 way back over the back right of the green. So, anyway, so your update now here. Again, Shane Lowry, your leader at 4 under right now through 11. So, yeah, that's where we are sitting here right now. Justin Thomas at 3 under. Xander Schauffele, 3 under. He's still on the course. Daniel Brown, 3 under through 7. The Englishman, 3 under through 7. So that's where we currently sit right now on the leaderboard.
Wonder what their numbers were. If you were betting, like their numbers. Someone like Daniel Brown, because, people are going to think
like, who's
Rory.
This guy?
They might think Brooks. They might think Scotty. But, yeah, I don't know. Interesting. I didn't place any bets on that, though. Sorry. Oh, I did. I did Scotty yesterday was my bet yesterday.
I take that back. I misspoke. He's actually 2 under. Not 3 under. He's 2 under. My apologies to that. Did I jinx someone again?
We'll have to see. I don't know. It's too early to call.
Too early to call.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully I don't jinx the Carolina Panthers, Victoria, because 3 weeks from today, we actually did this earlier. We had a conversation about 3 areas of concern on defense for the Carolina Panthers, because 3 weeks from today, we will see the Carolina Panthers on the football field. They'll be on the road at Gillette Stadium taking on the New England Patriots in their first preseason game. So we'll actually see, you actually mentioned a moment ago about college football players and some key guys lost. Drake May, quarterback from North Carolina.
Yeah.
He'll be making his professional, quote-unquote, debut.
Mm-hmm.
He'll play in that game for sure.
Oh, yeah.
For darn sure.
Absolutely.
So if you love sports and football in North Carolina, it's a game to tune into. But 3 weeks from now, we will actually see Dave Canales on the sideline with a headset on. We'll see guys in uniform, helmets snapped up, the whole bit. Guys actually playing football 3 weeks from tonight.
I know. Well, and speaking of Drake May, it'll be the first game that we play. They play the Patriots.
That's what I mean. Yeah, exactly. That's what goes on the road at Gillette Stadium.
It's right there. I can't wait. We don't even have to wait for it.
Don't even have to. 3 weeks. So 3 areas of concern offensively for the Carolina Panthers going into training camp. My first one, Victoria, Austin Corbett transitioning over to playing center. He's been a guard for pretty much his entire career. I know early, I think remember his rookie season, he played some at center when he was in Cleveland, but not really a whole lot. Got bumped over to guard, and has been a guard ever since. He was a guard for the most part in Cleveland. He was a guard with the LA Rams when they won a Super Bowl. Was a guard here with Carolina. Got a couple of injuries over the last couple of years. The last game of the regular season of 2022, so technically this was January 2023, he had the ACL tear, had to miss part of the early part of the year as he was rehabbing, then suffered another lower body injury, so he had to miss another chunk of time. So where is he at health-wise, but also he's moving to a new position. That's a major question mark because you signed 2 new guards in Damian Lewis and Robert Hunt. You still have Ike Ekwonu as your left tackle, which hopefully he elevates his game. We'll talk a little bit Ike maybe a little bit later on. Taylor Moton's been your most consistent guy as a right tackle. Bradley Bozeman was your center last year. He was, let's just say, below par, to say the least. Austin Corbett. Now you have to anchor the offensive line as the center. Like, you have to have that chemistry with Bryce Young. You got to help call out protections and all those kinds of things. I'm not saying he's incapable, but it's not an easy transition. How well does he adapt to it? Again, also coming off of a couple pretty significant lower body injuries in the last calendar year of 2023. So you got a couple of things that he has to overcome in that regard. Second concern, Victoria, is this. The health of their first 2 picks from this year's draft. We saw Xavier Legette injured during preseason or injured during OTAs, the hamstring. Hey, we're going to hold him out as a precaution during OTAs. Going to be super smart, which I'm like, fine. A little tightness in the hamstring. That's okay. That's fine with that. And then when minicamp rolled around, hey, we're still going to hold him out, again, as a precaution. Hopefully it's just that. Like, hey, you know what? If it was actual game week and we got something on the line here, maybe he push and play. But right now we're going to hold things out. That's fine. I'm hoping it's not something that doesn't tweak up again during training camp. Hopefully that's not the case because hamstring injuries always seem to resurface. So hopefully that's not the case, especially with a guy that's an explosive player as Xavier Legette is. If you have a hamstring injury, a lot of that explosiveness extremely reduced. But also, Jonathan Brooks, who suffered an ACL injury late in his season at Texas, still rehabbing, didn't participate in OTAs because he's still rehabbing and recovering from the knee injury. How quickly can he get up to speed? Maybe he's ready to go. Right there as training camp starts, he's running the football and he looks great. Knee's not a problem. We just don't fully know yet. Maybe it takes till week 3 or 4 to really get up to speed in terms of how healthy he's feeling, how strong his leg is, and how much he can contribute on the field. There's a little bit less of a rush to push these guys. At least I would say Jonathan Brooks, because Chuba Hubbard is coming back. You know that he can carry the ball 20 times a game. He might only get you 80 yards, but at least you know what you're getting with Chuba Hubbard in that regard. There's still the X factor, Miles Sanders.
I know.
I don't know.
Another question mark.
Those are questions in and of themselves with Miles Sanders. But Xavier Legette probably needs to be a little bit more ready to go because, yes, you brought in Deontay Johnson. You have Adam Thielen. But once you get after that, I mean, Jonathan Mingo did not have a good rookie season, but that whole team didn't have a really good year because of all the circumstances around it that we've talked about. So there is some level of grace that if we're going to give a level of grace to Bryce Young, we got to have a level of grace for Jonathan Mingo as well. But once you get past Deontay Johnson and Adam Thielen, it's unproven. It's Terrace Marshall Jr., it's Jonathan Mingo. I like Emir Smith-Marset and what he can do as a returner and also maybe a couple gadget plays and things like that here and there. But there's still somewhat of a drop-off. So hopefully Legette can be your number 3 guy ready to go at the start of the year. My third concern, the guy I just mentioned a moment ago, Victoria, it's Bryce Young.
Yeah.
I hope that last year didn't ruin him.
I really
hope not.
Please don't tell me he's seeing ghosts.
Yes, let's not Sam Darnold this. I hope that because everything around him has changed from coaching style, playbook, personnel. They the two guards that the Panthers signed that we mentioned a moment ago, Victoria, the fact that they drafted with their first 2 picks a wide receiver and a running back. They also drafted with their 4th round pick a tight end. So they got you 3 new offensive weapons and 4 new offensive weapons. We've counted Deontay Johnson with Leggett, Brooks, and Jatavian Sanders. So they brought in 4 new skill guys for you and 2 new offensive linemen. And they also changed the coaching staff for you. Like, now it's on you.
Yeah, we can't do anything else.
Now it's on you. Like, you now have to go do the thing. Can't hold your hand. You have to go do the thing. You're drafted number 1 overall for a reason. And here's the thing. It wasn't just the Panthers that had him at number 1 overall. There are a lot of teams that were right there, 1-2, Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud. If Stroud went 2, Young was going 2nd. If Young was going number 1, Stroud was going 2. A lot of people were mixed on it. So the Panthers weren't the only ones. Now, they gave up a haul to get him. But Bryce Young has to prove that, hey, you know what? I can be that guy. Like, this is a lot of it, so much now is on him. So much of it now is on him.
Yeah.
He has to do it, Victoria, because if he doesn't,
there's nothing else that we could have done to make him better.
At least show that progress and show that you're capable of it. He's going to struggle at points this season. Because if you just scrap last year, here's a reset, you're basically a rookie again.
Mm-hmm.
You're basically a rookie again. He's going to struggle at points because there's still holes on this roster. There's not a lot of depth. The team's going to struggle to – it takes time.
Yeah.
It takes time for offensive personnel, offensive schemes, timing, all of that stuff to come together. It's not going to happen overnight.
No, that's all we can hope for, especially coming from a Panthers fan like myself. We just want progress.
We want
that's it.
progress, but we need to see it from him.
Mm-hmm.
There's one guy that you need to see it the most from this year, it's him. Jonathan Brooks can ease into it. Xavier Leggett can ease into it. Jonathan Mingo can still continue to ease into it. Jatavian Sanders can continue to ease into it. Bryce Young can't. Because those other guys can have plays off. Those other guys can just have special things designed for them. Bryce has to be the guy, and he needs to do it now. You got the wacky year out of the way.
Yeah.
Be the guy right now.
You have a staff for you and everything.
Got it all.
Mm-hmm.
Just go do the thing. This is the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox sitting in for Adam Gold today. On the other side, it's that time of the show. We got to stretch. We got to play some bets. Maybe we'll do a live pick on the Open Championship.
Okay.
We'll see. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe we'll do that. That's coming up.
Going beyond the box scores. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Some call it overplanning. At Alternative Power, we call it foresight. Be prepared for the next power outage with a Generac home standby generator. After sensing a power outage, a Generac generator automatically restores your home's power, whether you're home or away. Generac, it's not just a generator, it's a power move. Act now for a free 10-year warranty on a Generac home standby generator. Terms and conditions apply. See more at alternativepower.com. Alternative Power, North Carolina's Generac experts.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
The new Bluebell Cookies and Cream Cheesecake is cheesecake ice cream with chocolate cookie-crusted cheesecake pieces and chocolate cream-filled cookies. Again, cheesecake ice cream with chocolate cookie-crusted cheesecake pieces and chocolate cream-filled cookies. Buy two.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
If you pay your city or town for electricity, you live in a public power community. Our public power providers in North Carolina keep the power on 99.9% of the time. That averages out to be less than 1 hour a year without power. public power line workers who work day and night, rain or shine, are key to that unbeaten reliability. Better reliability, fewer outages, faster restoration. That's the value of public power. Learn more at electricities.com.
Trust ACT Construction Equipment and Avant Articulated Loaders for the right equipment to help get your work done. Avant makes the most multifunctional loaders in the world. Whether you're a landscaping pro or homeowner serious about property maintenance, you need an Avant loader. ACT Construction Equipment is your authorized Avant dealer for sales, service, part, and rentals. Visit one of our 7 locations or actce.com for more details about Avant Articulated Loaders. ACT Construction Equipment. Always the right equipment for the job.
You could be a wildlife hero. Did you know that when you visit the North Carolina Zoo in Asheboro, your visit supports efforts to protect animals locally and worldwide? The North Carolina Zoo is a leader in wildlife conservation to save endangered species such as elephants, lions, and gorillas. Plan a family-friendly day trip to the North Carolina Zoo and learn how you can save endangered animals from extinction. Plan your adventure today at nczoo.org. That's nczoo.org.
NC Medicaid is for people just like me.
Adults who don't have children.
People who serve.
People who do the heavy lifting.
Child care teachers. Full healthcare coverage at low or no cost.
Doctor's visits, emergency rooms, and prescriptions.
So if you applied before and didn't get it, apply again.
NC Medicaid covers more people than ever before.
NC Medicaid is for more people. See if you qualify at medicaid.nc.gov.
Have you ever noticed how little things can make a big difference? Here's an idea. Why not greet everyone you see today with a big smile and a friendly, "How are you today?" Maybe this small gesture may turn around an otherwise bad day. You never know how much difference a friendly expression can make. Who knows? You just might make a new friend. In North Carolina, we have always taken pride in being kind to everybody. Little things do make a difference. Makes you feel better. Makes everyone around you feel better.
This is Adam Gold.
He said he could talk about his golf game. He did say it wasn't great, and I said, hey, no judgment here. I'm a drive shacker and a putt-putter myself.
None of us are good. Even those of us that are good aren't really good.
Right, yeah.
We're just not.
Yeah.
The Adam Gold Show.
Shane Lowry, your leader right now, the Open Championship. He's 4 under through 12 holes. Justin Thomas is at 3 under. Everyone else kind of dropped off. Like Xander Schauffele, he bogeyed a hole. Now he's no longer at 3 under, so he's at 2 under. So a couple guys dropped off. So your leader's 1-2 right now. Shane Lowry 4 under. Justin Thomas in the clubhouse is at 3 under. Again, Shane Lowry's only through 12 holes, so you never know. He can extend that lead or he could slip back into the pack. Who knows? Who knows? Time will tell. Also, a couple guys to keep an eye on as well. Brooks Koepka is 2 under through 14 as well, so he's just a couple shots back. Guys like Tony Finau already finished his round. He was at even par. Scotty Scheffler is at even par as well. I think he actually did. He actually bogeyed his last hole. So he bogeyed 12 after birdieing 11, so he's back at even par. But again, just 4 strokes off the lead and still a ton of golf left to play. Even today, still a ton of golf left to play today. But until then, Victoria, time to stretch things out.
It's always a good idea to stretch. Yeah.
Yes.
It's always a good
dynamic
idea.
warm up, stretch, loose, all those things.
Well, and it's, always a good idea to have breakfast to start your day.
Yes, it is. Good protein in the morning. Eggs are great for it.
Well, and it's funny that you
Helps
should say
insulin
eggs
levels.
because there's an egg breakfast hack that I have not tried, but
hit
I
me.
need to try.
Go on.
I know.
Go on.
I need to try this because a lot of times I have to make eggs here for breakfast, and you can make them super fluffy and delicious if you put seltzer in it.
What? Okay.
So let me preface by this is just regular seltzer. This is not flavored, and this is definitely not the alcoholic version. So let's not.
That's a great way to start your day, I guess.
Listen, might make it taste a little weird, but apparently all you need to do is add 1 teaspoon to your egg mixture, whatever you decide to put in there.
You whip up your eggs, all right.
Yes, and then you can add whatever you want to it. It didn't say that was a problem. And then make it that way, and it will add a little bit of fluff to it. So, I mean, I guess it makes sense. They say that the bubbles is what does it.
Yeah,
so.
I say the carbonation and all that. Okay, that makes sense because I know actually there are some waffle iron recipes where people actually can add like a little seltzer water because it adds like some aeration and things like that to it. I have made those in the past. Okay, so that's interesting. I never thought about that. I usually... I have very particular ways about how I cook, especially scrambled eggs.
Okay. Sure.
Obviously, I add milk and salt and pepper and those kinds of things to it, but kind of like a medium-low heat and actually kind of let it cook up a little bit.
Yeah, you have to go low and slow.
Low and slow, but here's the key as well. A lot of people, they just start, they pour the egg mixture in the pan and they just start pushing.
Right. No.
And I was like, no, actually let it cook a little bit on the bottom and then you have to fold it over.
Right.
Like get underneath and then fold it over. That's the key. That's how you get fluffy, creamy eggs.
Yeah, like an omelet, but,
Kind of, to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
To an extent. And that's actually how when I make breakfast sandwiches in the morning, that's what I do.
Right. See, I like it.
See?
So now I'm going to have to try
There's
this
techniques.
seltzer because I don't like seltzer water, so I
don't
never
either.
have a reason to buy it. But now,
baby, you know what? Can I use like if I have a mini can of Sprite? Can I use some of that?
I don't know.
Add some flavor. Now I want to try it just for that.
They did say, I mean, if you really, really like Sprite, I'm sure they did say don't use flavored stuff because it might make it taste funky. But hey, if you really like Sprite, maybe you.
I love Sprite.
Maybe that would be delicious. Lemon lime eggs.
I want to try it now. I want to try it. I'm going to try it. I'm going to go to the grocery store. I'm going to buy some mini Sprites.
I know. We'll have to report back and see if it actually works.
I will report on this tomorrow.
Okay,
I 100% will.
Nice. Well, I don't know if you plan on watching the Emmys.
No, I don't.
But the Emmy nominees were released.
Okay.
And these are just some fun little facts, I guess, of it. I'm not going to talk about who all was nominated, but I know in the office here we've talked about The Bear a lot. Don't worry, I'm not going to have any spoilers.
Yes, please no spoilers.
I've
I have not watched this
all of it.
latest season.
But what it did do is it broke the record for Emmy nominations for a comedy series, which it's funny that it's comedy. It is funny, but it's also there's so much drama in that show. So they broke it with 23 nominations.
Dang.
I know, which beat out
done.
30 Rock that used to have 22. So they're winning there. Carol Burnett, she became the oldest woman to get an acting nomination.
Okay.
So, and she's 91. So look at her still going. I love
What was her nomination?
She for Palm Royal.
Okay.
I have not seen that. But yeah, that's what it's for. And then also Ryan Gosling got his first Emmy nod for hosting the episode of Saturday Night Live. So there you go.
I like it.
That was just a fun thing. I don't know if I plan on watching it, but it's okay. One thing we do need to watch out for locally.
Okay.
With the summer is bug infestations.
Oh gosh, yes.
I hate them so much.
Oh, Terminix or whomever is coming to my apartment complex is part of the rent. They come once a quarter. They're actually coming to my apartment today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Shout out.
See, now watch out because I've noticed when they come to the house, like our house, they'll spray, and then that's when they come out, especially when it's cold.
Yeah.
They'll come out when the spray's out, so just be prepared. You might see some things. But it did a list of top pest infestations for this area and the country. Now, I'm not going to go over all of it, but North Carolina, the ones that we were singled out for, snakes, obviously, which I feel like that's a gimme. We've been around, but they are out and about for sure. And then my personal favorite, not favorite, mosquitoes.
No, God, please, no.
No. They love me so much that they ruin me.
No, thank you.
I'm not a fan.
On snakes.
Nope. And
snakes
mosquitoes,
or mosquitoes.
No.
Cockroaches. Nope.
Well,
all can go away.
Last but not least, you know who Britney Spears is not a fan of nowadays?
Who's that?
So, the Osbournes. Actually, more specifically, Ozzy, because he recently went on his podcast and basically said he was, quote, fed up with seeing Britney Spears post her dance videos every bleeping day because, he bleeps a lot. So you have to throw a bleep in there.
Okay.
Have you seen these?
I probably have come across them.
Yeah.
But here's the thing as well. Is like if you're tired of seeing them,
just don't look at them.
Don't watch them. Yeah. You can mute.
You don't have to follow
accounts,
her.
Or you don't have to follow, but you also can mute accounts so that way you don't see them.
Right.
You can actually control, for the most part, what you see.
Yeah.
So
move it along.
Yeah. If you don't want to watch something, go to the next thing.
And I mean, I get it because it is
Not that
uncomfortable.
hard.
Like she does post those a lot, and it makes me a little uncomfortable. But
that's fine. You know what?
I don't watch them.
You don't watch them. It's like, okay, that's so. If you want to post it, post it.
Yeah.
That's fine. I won't watch.
So he spoke his piece. Well, she clapped back, of course, because,
Good.
she would. And that's great for her. She's pulling a tiger. For some reason in her clapback, she was like defending Kate Beckinsale. I'm not really sure. I don't know the history with this drama, but she did say, quote, "I'm going to do a photo shoot with Kate and tell the Osborne family who is the most boring family known to mankind," which I don't think they're the most boring, but whatever, to bleep off. So she also is throwing out bleeps.
A lot of bleeps happening
A
here.
lot of bleeps happening in case you needed that celebrity drama going on.
You know who probably had a lot of bleeps today? Yes. Rory McIlroy.
Mm-hmm. A lot of those.
Maybe.
Which reminds us of our bets.
Yes, it does.
Place your bets. Here we are. I bet you slice into the woods $100.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
Okay, you can owe me. I owe you nothing.
All right, Victoria.
Yeah.
Real quick, I have to make sure that I lay claim to my my summer league.
Oh, yeah.
Picks that I made yesterday.
Mm-hmm. That's all I'm doing today because,
That's totally fair.
We don't
That's
have a
totally
lot.
fine. I actually had the Mavericks. Actually, I had the Hornets to beat the Celtics. That did not happen. I had the Mavericks to win yesterday as well. That did not happen in summer league action. So I am currently stink.
That's okay. Well, maybe this round will be better. So
Yes.
I'm going to go first off, Indiana Pacers in Detroit taking on the Nuggets. I just like saying go Nuggets. I have no,
Go
anything
Nuggets.
for this. And they're also
all
the
you need.
underdogs. So give me the Nuggets plus 185.
Hey, give me the Pelicans over the Grizzlies at plus 295. Give it to me.
Yes.
NBA Summer League action.
See, and that's kind of the theme I'm doing. Orlando Magic's going to be in Brooklyn taking on the Nets. You know what? They start with an N just like the Nuggets, and they're the underdogs, plus 140. Give me the Brooklyn Nets to win.
Brooklyn Nets. Major League Baseball. Actually, you know what? That actually doesn't get back to tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to go to the Open Championship.
All
Give me
right.
Scotty Scheffler to win at plus 400.
Oh, we went down from my pick yesterday.
Yep,
He was
it
plus
went down.
5.
But give it to me now.
My last one, Los Angeles Clippers are going to be in Utah taking on the Jazz that will now have a hockey team. Give me Utah Jazz plus 155.
Give me Justin Thomas to finish in the top 5 at plus 260. That's a live number right now. Give me top 5 plus 260. I feel like there's good value in that, V.
Yeah, why not?
He's only one back of the leader, Shane Lowry. By the way, coming up here on the Wall of Sound on the Adam Gold Show, we've seen people replace legends. We hear from another person replacing a legend here in the Wall of Sound coming up.
Raleigh to Boone, Charlotte to Chapel Hill. Your Carolina is covered. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Move your sports day forward.
This is not summer vacation. If you're out there reading as much as you possibly can about hockey and the Carolina Hurricanes and whatnot, this and the NHL, this is not summer vacation. There are teams that are having to put their cases together right now to figure out how much they can re-sign players. There are still free agents out there being re-signed.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
The best summer savings for golfers is now at Global Golf in Raleigh. This week only, save up to 60% on all tailor-made pre-owned golf clubs. Global Golf is home to Carolina's largest selection of pre-owned golf gear. Whether you need some new grips, professional lessons, or wanting to trade in your current clubs, swing by Global Golf at 7320 ACC Boulevard. Don't miss amazing summer sales and more at Global Golf, home to the best deals in golf.
If Heineken Silver was a 60-second radio ad, it'd tell you all the stuff you need to know in only 30 seconds to keep things light and refreshing. Seriously, time me. Heineken Silver, a world-class light beer that's surprisingly crisp and refreshing, made with only premium quality ingredients and just 2.9 grams of carbs and 95 calories, all without compromising on taste. Heineken Silver, all the taste, no bitter endings. Order now at Heineken.com/silver. Must be 21 and older to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. Whew, 30 seconds, that's it. Done. Peace.
Doesn't the North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club give the best massages?
I've never felt so relaxed.
Thanks to this month's scratch-offs, this is our life now.
It's like winning again and again and again.
New $80 million cash blowout and triple red sevens mean new winners. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds winning range from 1 in 4.28 to 9.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
You're not going to want to miss this. Diamonds Direct summer sale starts this weekend. For 3 days only, this Friday through Sunday, get 20% off rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, and more. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. And designers are flying in from New York and LA to showcase their latest trends. That's 20% off, plus $100 off with an appointment and designer trunk shows. Tons of engagement rings on sale, too. 20% off starts Friday. Details at diamondsdirect.com. 3 days only and Sunday.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with upfit solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet, choose custom installed upfit solutions from Van Products.
Child abuse is not a bad parent problem.
Keeping families out of crisis in the first place
is how we prevent it from ever happening.
Go to preventchildabuse.org and
let's solve child abuse before it ever happens.
Want to keep your gas-powered engines running like new? Stable's proprietary formulas are proven by third-party testing to outperform the competition in keeping fuel fresh, preventing corrosion, and cleaning the entire fuel system. With Stable, you can have confidence you are doing the right thing for your engine's long-term health. Just pour into your gas can or fuel tank, then top off with fresh fuel. At every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable. Available where fuel additives are sold.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
He scores! What a comeback!
Visit GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Grayson McCall fits perfectly for the system and the skill set around him because he's going to be a guy that gets the ball out of his hands quick. He's going to go with it in the right place, and he's accurate. He doesn't have the biggest arm in the world. He's not like what Devin Leary was a couple of years ago. But when you have receivers like Casey Concepcion and those guys I just mentioned, you just got to get the ball in their hands with good ball placement, and then they're going to, have yards after catch. So I'm really excited about this offense. I've heard great things about Jordan Waters, the running back, and then they return a lot on the offensive line.
Yeah.
So I do expect them to be one of the better offenses in the ACC.
That you heard was the sound of Mike Glennon, former NC State quarterback, former NFL quarterback, who joined the Adam Gold Show earlier this week, talking about not only just NC State, but college quarterbacks and NFL quarterbacks, just kind of talking about the college and NFL seasons ahead. And kind of stuff that he hit on. I mean, if there's someone who knows it as good as anybody, it's him. I mean, you don't, play, 10-plus seasons, whatever it is in the NFL if you don't have a mind and eye for those kinds of things, Victoria. By the way, Dennis Cox sitting in for Adam Gold this afternoon. Victoria Vodenecker producing the show, as always. I wonder if that soundbite's going to circulate around to some people. Maybe. I don't know. Now, here's the thing. Mike Glennon had to take over for Russell Wilson at NC State. We always see the changing of the guard at times. We actually see it or have seen it here in the coaching world, here in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Mike Krzyzewski retiring. Insert John Shire. Before that, Roy Williams stepping away. insert Hubert Davis,
Yeah.
the guy that replaces a legend. And this is actually where we get to in the Wall of Sound.
The Wall of Sound is a function of this studio. There's no doubt about it.
So here in the Wall of Sound, we have the legendary coach, former coach of Alabama football, Nick Saban. By the way, SEC Media Days have been taking place this week. ACC Media Days next week. Nick Saban, longtime head coach at Alabama, retired after this past season. New head coach is Kalen DeBoer. Kalen DeBoer comes over from Washington, having just competed in the national championship game. Well, guess what? You're still the guy replacing the guy. Trying to follow in the footsteps of a legend? Well, Nick Saban actually talked about the pressure on Kalen DeBoer this year.
You can't be concerned about what everybody else thinks. You got to keep the main thing, and you got to be able to stay focused on the things that you need to do to improve each individual player on your team and team chemistry on your team, and do the things that you need to do to try to be the best team that you can be. And I think Kalen has proven that he can do that and will do that. I think the players are bought into, what he wants to try to do. The players want to win. He wants to win. We wanted to win when we were there. So there's a lot of common threads here in how people are committed to being the best they can be.
So that's the key, right? Keep the main thing the main thing. There's a ton of pressure on Kalen DeBoer, because if he struggles, people are like, well, hold on, wait a second now. Can Saban come out of retirement? Right?
He's too busy going to media days without his pass.
Yeah, that was actually kind of funny. So there's a story out there. So Nick Saban showed up to media day and was not allowed in because he didn't have a credential. So everyone that goes to media days, whether you're a player, a coach, or a member of the media, or staff with the conference, whomever it might be, you have a credential that basically tells you where you're allowed in, where you're allowed to go, those kinds of things, just to, security reasons and safety and all that kind of stuff. When Nick Saban didn't have his credential on him,
he thought he could just walk in.
Thought he could just walk in like, no.
Sorry, sir.
You need to have a credential, sir. You're in our line of work now, Nick.
Mm-hmm.
You sit with me now.
Yep, get the lanyard.
You get the lanyard. Get the lanyard.
Yep.
With your picture on a piece of laminated cardboard.
Yes.
You're one of us now, Nick.
All right.
You're one of us.
Yeah, he's.
By the way, Kalen DeBoer actually himself did talk about following Nick Saban at Alabama.
Yeah, it's an honor. Really, it is. I know that there's things and expectations that come along with just being the Alabama head coach, but then, following Coach Saban, how he just did everything just on a high level, and that's the expectation. Fortunately, I was chosen a chance and an opportunity to be here, and I just got to be me. There's only one Nick Saban, and there only will ever forever be one Nick Saban. But everything that we're going to do right now is going to be continue to, be what's best for our football program. And we want to build on all the work that he, as well as many of the other alumni and coaches, have poured into this place over many decades.
It's not an easy thing. It's just not. I mean, Hubert Davis kind of set the bar. He went to a national championship game his first year as a head coach. He went to a national championship. And now Kalen DeBoer, fresh off playing in a national championship himself, but at Washington, now again taking over at Alabama after Nick Saban retiring, talked about, hey, what's a successful first year going to look like?
I think when it comes to what success looks like, that's what we want. But what I really want to see is that energy, our culture continue to grow, the buy-in continue to be there. And that's happening now, and that needs to happen all year long. And yes, we got to get off to a fast start. Get it rolling, get some confidence. The schedule's competitive, but that's life in the SEC. That's the way every team has to look at it. And, for us, the success is just going to be that we could continue to take one day at a time and continue to be better every moment that we can.
I mean, who's going to usurp Kalen DeBoer?
Right. Exactly.
That's what's going to happen. So that's where we sit right now when it comes to Alabama. Now, again, a program that was in the college football playoff last year is one of the Final Four teams, lost to Michigan in a really good game in the Rose Bowl. Now, making the college football playoff should basically be a lock for them because last time I checked, you still have the Alabama name. You still have everything that Nick Saban had built that you can just take over. Now, the challenge for Kalen DeBoer is how do you balance the keep the machine moving while also still being true to yourself? That's such a fine line.
Mm-hmm.
So, because players and people are so used to having things be done a certain way, when you disrupt that in any way, shape, or form, it throws people off. And it has people questioning. For example, in our own work lives, if you get a new manager that comes in and takes over, like a new director, manager, whatever it is, and they start doing things differently, like, hey, we've been doing really great with all of our numbers. We've gone above projections and whatever it is that you measure your success at your business, and you're doing everything above and beyond that measurement, and someone comes in and starts changing stuff. Hey, let's do this a little bit differently. Hey, let's change things here. Let's do this a little bit differently. You start to be like, everyone had that question of, well, why?
Yeah, why fix when ain't broke?
Exactly. It's everything's like this wheel is turning, you know? Why are we going to turn it slightly? Why we're going to pivot, you know? That's a big question that everyone has in their workplace. We've all had that. And for these other coaches that are there, whether it's people in the administrative staff, people in the athletic department, players, whomever, those wheels are going to angle slightly a different direction. Doesn't mean you still can't get to where you want to get to, but the direction is slightly different because of the new leadership. Someone else is behind the wheel. But we've all had that question before. Now, there's in some situations where it's a rudderless ship out there, you know, and then someone comes in and starts putting you in the right direction. That's sometimes what you need. But Alabama doesn't need that. They need someone that can keep the cog moving, right? Or keep the machine moving. So that's where we are with Alabama right now. But they should make the college football playoff. It expanded to 12. They should be in it. Even with Texas coming in and Oklahoma, they should still be in it.
Yeah, of course. We'll see.
Time will tell, Victoria. By the way, time will tell if Shane Lowry will continue to hold his lead at the British Open. He's 4 under right now through 14. Which, by the way, again, this style of golf is probably built for him. He did win the 2019 British Open. He's built for it. You know, it's his kind of weather.
Yeah.
Right? He's essentially back home. He's from Ireland, but they're playing in Scotland. It's just, a little quick boat trip. It's not that far away. By the way, speaking of teams and people getting into national championships and Final Fours, Kevin Keatts, head men's basketball coach at NC State, spoke to the media earlier today about the run to the Final Four, also about some expectations for this coming season and how things have maybe changed around the program since that Final Four run. We actually have some sound bites from head coach Kevin Keatts coming up.
Serving it up hot and fresh every day. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
It's the summer of soccer.
Swiderski for Capetti. It's stolen away by Hack. Hit the line by Gaines. A shot. He scores!
All the saves.
Polina with brilliant quick footwork across his 6-yard box to be able to recover and grab the strike from Kubo.
All the goals.
He just sends it back into the area for Swiderski. One touch. He scores!
The Triangle's home for Charlotte FC action. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Oh, let me talk to those of you who are contact lens wearers, and if you are tired of wasting time and wasting money, can I help you? Adam Gold here from my friends at Travers LASIK and Dr. Lori Travers, the one and only who has saved me time and saved me money. Time cleaning contact lenses, ordering new ones, glasses, prescriptions on glasses, the money, all those things cost money. Dr. Lori put me on the path to 20/20 vision, totally painless, could go back to work the very next day. 2 years, 0 interest financing is available, and we're going to throw in $1,000 off because I like you and you know me. Now comes the hard part. Here's the effort that I need from you. 919-510-6830. 919-510-6830. You can go online, traverslasik.com. The consultation is free. So if you want to see clearly 20/20 vision, not just in hindsight, Travers LASIK and TraversLASIK.com.
Hungry for flavor and value? Then it's Bow time. Nothing slays the hunger beast like some of that bodacious Bojangles flavor. And there's never been a better time to satisfy your Bojangles sandwich cravings than now. With Bojangles Summer Sandwich lineup, you can choose a flavorful Cajun fried chicken filet sandwich, or a tender Cajun grilled chicken filet sandwich, or a crispy Cajun filet club sandwich, or a tasty Bo's chicken sandwich. Make it a sandwich combo and add your choice of a side. Maybe Bojangles seasoned fries, dirty rice, or Cajun pintos. And to complete the perfect meal, Bojangles legendary iced tea. There's a Bojangles sandwich combo for everyone in the family. Summer just doesn't get any better than that. What are you waiting for? You know you're hungry, and you know you want flavor and value. So, it's Bojangles Sandwich Combo time.
What are you doing? Eating caviar. Yuck. Get this. Supreme 7 scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery have the best odds to win $400 with a $4 million top prize. So I'm learning to enjoy rich people stuff.
Okay, let me try. Gross.
What's next? Ballroom dancing.
I'll lead.
New Supreme 7s, a shot at supreme riches. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 4.18. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Home ownership. At Progressive, we know it's part of the American dream. It's majestic golden eagles and other less majestic birds taunting you through the baseball-sized hole in your new windows. It's soaring guitar solos performed through faulty wiring in your garage, which subsequently erupts into flames. It's also around-the-clock protection when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, which can help keep the American dream of home ownership alive and kicking. Get a quote at Progressive.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
This is Adam Gold.
He takes the hat. It was like somebody who works there was wearing a baseball cap. Takes it off the kid's head and puts it on the hostess station. Just takes the hat off this guy and puts it down.
Excuse you?
Like, that's exactly what I went. Like, excuse me?
Right.
Well, what are you doing?
The Adam Gold Show.
So, one thing that was stunning about the last, I call it the sports calendar. The sports calendar for me basically runs from July 1 to June 30th. You know?
Yeah.
It's basically the sports year for me because June 1 is like, all right, it's the start of the new NHL season. That's also when free agency in the NBA gets. It's also, everyone's going into mini camps or training camps are approaching. Those kinds of things. So you get the lead up to a lot of seasons, and then also in end of June is also when NHL season wraps up, NBA season wraps up. So that's kind of how I view the sports calendar in my mind. Kind of basically like college.
Yeah.
It's kind of how I view it. And for the last sports calendar year, as I just defined it as, one of the biggest stories was the run to the Final Four by both NC State women's basketball and men's basketball. Both teams going at the same time. Bonkers. NC State men's basketball coach Kevin Keatts actually did speak to the media today, actually had a press conference. First time he actually really fully spoke to the media as a whole at a press conference since then. And there's going to be some changes this coming year for NC State. I mean, just like there is obviously any year when it comes to college sports, because people graduate, people transfer. I mean, we saw, for example, guys like Mohamed Diarra go to the NBA, DJ Burns and DJ Horn, their eligibility expired. So there are three of your contributing players, especially during that Final Four run, that are no longer there. How do you fill it? One thing that has impressed me about NC State is how they have filled their roster and their ability to work through the transfer portal to bring in new guys, including one of the big guys that they picked up. I think they actually even agreed to bring him on, and it was Brandon Huntley Hatfield from Louisville. I think he actually made his commitment during the postseason, like in March, if I remember correctly, after he had another transfer portal from Louisville. Here's actually Kevin Keatts talking about what he likes about Brandon Huntley Hatfield.
Talented. As you guys know, him and both Mike James played at Louisville, and the one thing that we talked about is they were leading at halftime, in that ACC tournament. So I think that's kind of what sold me on those guys. But Brandon's got a chance to be really good. He can step out, he can shoot it. He's gonna, there's no replacement for DJ Burns. So if everybody's saying it's Brandon replacing DJ, no. Because nobody in the country plays that way. And by the way, I'll talk about Summer League in a minute. Those guys are doing really good, and we should be proud of it. But he's talented, can really step out and shoot it. I think he's going to be really good for us.
All right, so a couple things in there. One, yeah, you're not going to replace DJ Burns because he's so unique. He's so unique as a player. So you take DJ Burns off the floor, okay, now your offense has to evolve a little bit, because as opposed to building around him and what both his strengths and weaknesses were as a player, both on the offensive and defensive ends of the court, things are going to have to evolve and change a little bit. So this is where Kevin Keatts, as the coach, has to adapt the style of play. Can you get more up-tempo? Because this is actually something that Kevin Keatts likes to do, is that when they're efficient with their shooting, they can press, which is what he really wants to do. And that's where sometimes we saw their team struggle last year when they weren't efficient on the offensive end. They weren't able to set up their press and force turnovers and force teams to play at a higher tempo. Sometimes with DJ Burns out there on the floor, defense was a little bit of a liability. He really wasn't great at pick and roll, like switching and drop coverage. He wasn't really able to do that. How do you change things now defensively? Are you able to do things a little bit more? No one's going to step in and be what DJ Burns was. Maybe Brandon Huntley Hatfield could be what Mohamed Diarra was, who was a big, great rim protector who would occasionally sometimes step out and shoot threes, and actually would shoot at like an okay clip for a guy his size who wasn't really expected to shoot from the perimeter. Maybe he kind of fills that role. His style of play is different. That's totally fine because every player is built a little bit different. I'm curious to see how Kevin Keatts uses him, Huntley Hatfield, as a guy who's 6'10".
That's crazy.
Yeah, because the only real post guy that's coming back is Ben Middlebrooks. That's it, because Diarra decided to go pro, and DJ Burns, like I said, ran out of eligibility. So there's still a void to be filled down there. Now, also a guy that's coming in, as Kevin Keatts mentioned in that soundbite, Mike James, also coming from Louisville. Kevin Keatts talked about James.
Mike James, 6'5", 6'6", strong, driver, can really shoot the basketball. He'll play some 2 and 3 4s. I think that'll be, looking for someone to replace DJ Horn. I don't know that I'm gonna have anyone to replace him the way he played, but I think both of those guys will be really good.
So there are a lot of different guys that need to be replaced. Like I said, DJ Horn. No MJ Rice coming back. No Ernest Ross coming back. Like I said, DJ Horn graduated. So maybe Mike James can come in there and do that. I know some people say, well, wait, you're bringing in 2 guys from the worst team in the league in Louisville. Like, you're not bringing Louisville.
Yeah.
You're bringing 2 players. It's no different than, for example, at the trade deadline, there's a bad team in the NBA or in the NHL that has a really good player that can help another team as a role player. They'd get traded for, right? That's kind of what the transfer portal was used for. Like, hey, you know what? There are 2 really good players on this really bad team, but their talent, their individual talent, their individual abilities can help my team.
Yeah, I really, really, really hate using this example, but Christian McCaffrey, my favorite deuce.
There it is.
He was on with us. Couldn't do anything, couldn't go to his potential, but then he goes to the Niners. And
there it is.
So,
there's a great player that's right over there. He's unfortunately stuck on a bad team. Let's go acquire his talents, his ass.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to try to do.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to do. When the Carolina Hurricanes traded for Shane Gostisbehere a couple of seasons ago from the Arizona Coyotes. Coyotes stink. They stunk. Now they're Utah. The stink just traveled up to Salt Lake City. But nonetheless,
Utah
they,
Hockey
you know
Club.
what? That guy can help us. Let's go trade for him. It's no different. Like, you're not acquiring Louisville.
Right, yeah.
You're getting just players that played on that team.
Yeah.
They can find a better role because maybe they were asked to do too much. Because, the coaching staff changed over at Louisville again.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the coaching staff wasn't putting them into good spots. Maybe the coaching staff was asking either too much or even too little or just the wrong things from them just because of who else was around them. Hey, come here. I'm going to do something that's actually going to fit you.
Yeah, well, just like a team isn't a player isn't a team. So,
exactly.
They're all separate.
But again, 6'5", again, can kind of play that 2-3. Someone that we didn't really see in the run of the Final Four because of like a medical thing was Dennis Parker Jr., who was playing a ton early in the season, was starting at, it was kind of weird. He was playing the 4 just because they went with a small lineup for a chunk of the year early on. But Dennis Parker Jr. coming back for his sophomore year at 6'6". I'm curious to see what his play is going to look like. But no MJ Rice, no Ernest Ross, no DJ Horn on that backcourt. Maybe that's James stepping in. Maybe that's Dennis Parker Jr. coming back into the lineup. Maybe it's a guy who used to play for Carolina, Kinston native, Dontrez Styles.
Coach Keatts, one of the new guys that I want to ask you about is Dontrez Styles. Obviously, Kinston, North Carolina native, has college experience playing right down the road from here. What did you like about his game when you recruited him in high school, and what do you like about his summer workouts?
You mean Dontrez, the transfer from Georgetown?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah. No, he's good. He is. I love him because of his ability, his versatility. I think he can play 2 or 3 positions on the floor. Definitely the 3 and the 4. But at some time he shoots the ball well. We didn't have that. Mo was really good. Mo was probably one of the better rebounds that we've had at that position. Dontrez is a little different from him. You'll see him and Dennis Parker a little bit play some of that position. His ability to step out and shoot the ball behind the 3-point line is really going to help our program.
Mo was getting all the rebounds towards the end, so if he's like Mo, that's good.
Bo Diarra was awesome.
Yeah.
Bo Diarra was absolutely phenomenal down the stretch for NC State. So again, Dontrez Styles, we'll see what kind of role that he plays as well. So you're bringing in some length in 6'10" and Huntley Hatfield. Dontrez Styles, a little bit more of a wing guy. He's 6'6". So there's a lot more wing to this team. I don't know what the size is going to look like, again, outside of Huntley Hatfield, outside of Ben Middlebrooks. Those are only guys listed at 6'10" or higher. Just those 2 guys. Might be a pretty perimeter-based team that's coming here for NC State, but quite a bit until we actually get to the actual college basketball season. But if you're an NC State fan, you should be excited. You should be excited. Now, I'm not sitting there going to say this team's going to go back to the Final Four, because let's keep in mind, they had to have a special run to just even get into the NCAA tournament.
Right.
And then that run just happened to continue. They got hot at the right time. So let's make sure that our expectations aren't like, well, national championship game now, right?
Right. Yeah.
Now, if you're an NC State fan, you're probably thinking, well, unless you're going to do it.
Right. Yeah.
Unless you're going to do it.
Well, and poor NC State fans are probably like, yeah, ain't going to happen again for another,
But hey,
you
know
never
what?
know.
You can always sit there and say, remember when.
Exactly. It was so fun.
Sit there and say, remember when. Remember when Rory McIlroy used to be good at golf? He still is, but remember when he won a major? It's been a decade. We'll talk about his struggles coming up on the Adam Gold Show.
Going beyond the box scores. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
When the power goes out, your life is disrupted. Heat, air conditioning, refrigeration, phones, all gone. Be prepared for the next outage with a Generac home standby generator. After sensing a power outage, a Generac generator automatically restores your home's power. Whether you're home or away, power your life with a Generac home standby generator. Act now for a free 10-year warranty on a Generac home standby generator. Terms and conditions apply. See more at alternativepower.com. Alternative Power, North Carolina's Generac experts.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
The new Bluebell Cookies and Cream Cheesecake is cheesecake ice cream with chocolate cookie-crusted cheesecake pieces and chocolate cream-filled cookies. Again, cheesecake ice cream with chocolate cookie-crusted cheesecake pieces and chocolate cream-filled cookies. Buy two.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
If you pay your city or town for electricity, you live in a public power community. Our public power providers in North Carolina keep the power on 99.9% of the time. That averages out to be less than 1 hour a year without power. Public power line workers who work day and night, rain or shine, are key to that unbeaten reliability. Better reliability, fewer outages, faster restoration. That's the value of public power. Learn more at electricities.com.
Trust ACT Construction Equipment and Avant Articulated Loaders for the right equipment to help get your work done. Avant makes the most multifunctional loaders in the world. Whether you're a landscaping pro or homeowner serious about property maintenance, you need an Avant loader. ACT Construction Equipment is your authorized Avant dealer for sales, service, part, and rentals. Visit one of our 7 locations or actce.com for more details about Avant Articulated Loaders. ACT Construction Equipment. Always the right equipment for the job.
The North Carolina Zoo is celebrating 50 wild years in 2024. Voted top zoo in the nation, the North Carolina Zoo is centrally located in Asheboro. Bring your family for a day trip or a weekend excursion to connect with nature and make cherished memories. Discover towering giraffes, a herd of elephants, a crash of rhinos, and a flock of seabirds. Plus, ride an endangered species carousel and stroll through the exotic butterfly garden. Plan your next outdoor adventure at nczoo.org.
NC Medicaid is healthcare coverage for more North Carolinians. Just go to medicaid.nc.gov and fill out the needed information. Or call our Medicaid contact center. You can put pen to paper and fill out an application. And email, mail, or drop it off at your local Department of Social Services. And you can work with a navigator like Marvell at your local library. Don't wait, you can apply at any time and get covered starting the date of your application.
NC Medicaid is for more people. See if you qualify at medicaid.nc.gov.
Have you ever noticed how little things can make a big difference? Letting someone with an item or two check out in front of you, especially when you have a cart full. By the way, it doesn't take any time to smile at a grumpy checkout clerk. Maybe they've been working a long shift. It takes so little time, but it works wonders. In North Carolina, we have always taken pride in being kind to everybody. Little things do make a difference. Makes you feel better. Makes everyone around you feel better.
This is Adam Gold.
Victoria, you played sports in high school, right?
Oh, yeah. Basketball, and I swam.
Could you imagine competing for $1 million?
No.
$1 million.
No. I competed for plastic trophies.
I was also a high school athlete, baseball player. No, and I could never even imagine it.
No.
The Adam Gold Show.
By the way, I love the bump music you've been rocking with today.
Oh,
Victoria.
thank you.
I'm loving it.
I've been vibing, so today's
I know,
a
the
vibe.
hip-hop, let's keep it going. By the way, actually, a little NBA breaking news.
Oh, okay. Pause, please.
All right. So, Adrian Wojnarowski, ESPN.
Yes. The knower of all things, usually.
The knower of all things NBA related. ESPN sources. This is something he posted on X 6 minutes ago. ESPN sources. The Los Angeles Clippers are sending guard Russell Westbrook a second-round pick swap and cash to the Utah Jazz in a sign-and-trade agreement for guard Chris Dunn. Now, Westbrook is expected to agree on a contract buyout with the Jazz, clearing the way for him to eventually join the Denver Nuggets after clearing waivers, sources tell ESPN. So there you go. Russell Westbrook is going to get traded to Utah. Utah's going to buy out his contract. That way he can clear waivers and eventually go join the Denver Nuggets. So here's the thing, is that the Utah Jazz are able to kind of get, so they're getting a pick swap, they're getting cash, and they're sending guard Chris Dunn, like a sign and trade, because money and all that kind of stuff has to match up. So it's probably a way for them to, hey, look, we want to offload this player, the Utah Jazz. The way to do that is, okay, we'll take on this player. We can offload his contract by buying it out, but also get something in return. You know, hey, we're getting cash. Basically, the cash is probably to help pay the money for the buyout. Is probably what it is. So that's some little NBA news out there for you.
Nice.
Because speaking of Utah, that's where Kyle Filipowski was drafted. That's where Armando Bacot signed as an undrafted free agent. So there are some local here in the state of North Carolina ties to what's taking place out there in Utah. So anyway, I just find it interesting.
I know.
But him going to the Russell Westbrook to the Nuggets?
Yeah.
I'm like, to be a backup guard, I guess.
I don't know.
I mean, go do your thing, man.
Right.
Go do your thing. But I don't know. Just at this point in his career, I just don't know how much he actually really helps them. But hey, you know what?
We'll see.
To each his own. So anyway, I saw that come across the ticker.
Yeah.
Came across the ticker. Also, a score update for all you beautiful people out there, which is you listening. Shane Lowry no longer solo atop the leaderboard.
Oh.
Remember that Daniel Brown guy, the Englishman that I mentioned? He's 4 under as well.
Oh, wow.
I have no idea who this Daniel Brown guy is.
That's the one I said probably had great odds if you put real units on it.
Right? Where was he? Actually, you know what? Need to start looking this up, Victoria.
I know.
If you can't look up the odds on him right
on
now,
it.
if you don't mind. But Daniel Brown turned pro in 2017. I mean, he finished tied for third back in December at a tournament that I'm not even sure where it took place.
Wow. Okay. So Daniel Brown, if he were to win it all, is plus 20,000.
Hammer it.
Plus 20,000.
I'm actually not telling you to make that bet, but like the dude's 4 under.
Wow.
Now, looking at 6 of the last 7 tournaments that he has played in, he's missed the cut.
Wow.
And actually in the one they didn't miss the cut, which was the European Open back in end of May, beginning of June, he withdrew.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not like this guy's like been crushing it.
Look at this guy go.
But now the dude's 4 under through 11 holes at the Open Championship.
Yeah.
Like, what? I don't get it.
Mr. Brown, where have you been,
I
sir?
don't get it. And then Rory goes out there and stinks.
Yeah. See, Rory, he's plus 17,000. So he's not
That's a far cry from the plus 800 that he was yesterday.
Yes.
Hammer it.
Exactly. Oh, well, nope. Daniel Brown just went down. So if you didn't if you didn't put your bet in, now he's plus 15,000. So
that is drastic.
That is big change. Just happened right now.
Need to put $1 down on that.
Exactly.
Put $150 on $1.
Can I get a boost too?
Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly. Is there an odds boost on this? Can I parlay it?
Oh my goodness.
That's what I need. That's
Mr. Brown.
Who's this guy? And people
I've
are like,
never
well, he
heard
actually
of him before. And granted, I don't follow golf like Adam does, but I've never heard of him.
If Adam has a dossier on this guy.
Yeah. See, I don't think Adam's talked about him either.
No,
now I'm curious when he comes back. I want to know, what are your thoughts on Daniel Brown? Look at this guy.
Don't.
It's all right. You do your thing, Daniel, in your hometown.
By the way, the SDC championship that took place in South Africa back earlier this year. Again, in South Africa, he finished tied for 4th.
Okay.
So, okay. I mean, like, all right, okay.
Wow.
Okay, Daniel.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd
Good
never
job.
heard of you before, but now I do.
Now I know. But it's, you know, the funny thing is we actually, when you click, because, you know, if you're like, for example, if you're on ESPN.com and you actually click on the profile for, you know, like a player.
Yeah.
You know, if you click on Shane Lowry, you see his face, you know, because they're like, again, it's a profile of the player. You see what the guy looks like, right? They're just like a blank shadow for like a cutout for the head of Daniel Brown, because no one knows who the guy is.
No, no.
That's the crazy thing. Like, you hit the little drop down to see what a player's scorecard is and stuff so far. No one knows who this Daniel Brown guy is.
We might now
But
soon.
Dude's 4 under. He's 4 under through 11 holes at the Open Championship. Maybe the dude puts up another couple under. Maybe puts up another couple birds between now and the end of his round. And the dude's the leader in the clubhouse. I can only imagine what's going through his mind if that's the case.
Right, yeah.
I'm just trying to think about what that situation has got to be like for a guy like him or anybody that is in that role, where you're just all of a sudden you're like,
You're telling yourself, okay,
you're like,
stay calm.
Yo, I'm in the lead at this thing.
Breathe.
Yeah. I would not sleep.
Oh, no.
I wouldn't sleep, because then I'm going to look at the leaderboard and go like, Shane Lowry, okay, yeah, the 2019 Open champion. Okay, Justin Thomas, one of the best golfers in the world. And I see Xander Schauffele's, just right there. And then, there's Brooks Koepka. How did I get into this room?
Yeah, yeah.
Have you ever had that happen to you before? Like, you accidentally walk into a place where you're not supposed to be, like at a company event or whatever it is, or for example, you go to like a game, a sporting event, you accidentally like slip into a restaurant or bar that's supposed to be for like exclusive people, and all of a sudden you're in there.
You're like, I'm not supposed to be here.
So this happened to me. It was myself, my brother-in-law, and one of my brother-in-law's close friends named Chris. So the three of us, we went to Washington, D.C. because we all grew up in Virginia. So we went to Washington, D.C. to go watch a hockey game, the Washington Capitals game. So we're at, I guess, I forget what it's called now, but it was, at the time, it was like the MCI Center or whatever it was. I think it's Capital One Arena. So we had kind of like the 200 level seats like you see at PNC Arena. Like we had splurged a little bit to get, hey, let's get the nice seats. So we're walking on like that 200 level, like that mezzanine level, whatever it is.
Which you have to get past people just to get on.
Exactly. Like you get to show your tickets, like just to get onto that level, which makes total sense. And then we saw kind of like this bar, like restaurant type area where they just had like almost like a big buffet of food.
Nice.
And we thought maybe like with the passes and stuff that we got that we actually could get in. So we showed the person at the door that was checking tickets or whatever in, like, are you cool enough to be in here? And we just showed him our tickets. The person goes, go for it. And we're like, okay, like we thought we were all cool.
Right.
Because they said, oh, okay, this is great. And they had like someone carving roast beef and like all this other stuff that was taking place.
Fancy.
And we're like, well, heck yeah. So we're like, and like the drinks at the bar were like all included. It's
nice.
Like, oh, okay.
That's
so we're just like,
fancy.
we go like get water, drink, we get food, we get all this other stuff, that we want. We're like, we're eating, like we're feeling good. Things are great. But we also kind of looked around the room because we were kind of like sitting by ourselves, and some people were just being like,
who are these people?
Who are those guys? We just got to notice, like, is everyone kind of staring at us a little bit? We're just kind of like,
I know.
I don't know, this roast beef's delicious.
Yeah. Let me
hey,
sip on my free LIG.
Exactly. Like, the fingerling potatoes, delicious. So we just sat there, like, before the game started and just had ourselves a good time.
Nice.
Like, hey, we're having fun. Hey, this is awesome. Like, these tickets are great value.
Right, we should do this again.
Turns out, the person accidentally let us in. We weren't supposed to be in there.
I was going to ask when they said the statement of, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
were they like,
go for it.
Yeah, I don't care? Or, that
go
applies.
For it. They're like, all right. We're just like, all right, cool. We're just walking in here and we're splurging. Like, we're just having ourselves a grand old time.
Exactly.
And then, sure enough, like, we try to go back, like, hey, let's go back and get some of that food. It was like during the first intermission, they're like, no, you're not supposed to be here.
Yeah, no.
Like, well, we were in here earlier, like, how? I was like, well, we just showed them our tickets and stuff. Like, you're not supposed to be in this area. Like,
yeah, that person that let you in, they fired already.
Yeah,
like,
right. That person was probably like, I'm quitting.
Yeah, so I don't care. Like, you have fun.
But that's got to be Daniel Lowry Daniel Brown right now. When right there at 4 under with Shane Lowry. who's ranked, I think, 33rd in the world.
Wow.
And you get
That's a
Justin
step up.
Thomas sitting over there, too. Just what is happening here? Justin Thomas is also just happens to be, I don't know, one of the best golfers in the world.
Yeah. Wow. So he's 29 years old. I'm looking this up.
Yeah, it's just.
It's from the UK.
I mean, that's the kind of like the dream movie stuff, like the Cinderella story,
Mm-hmm.
the whole bit. So that's where we are right now. But then we see that Daniel Brown having right now probably the round of his life. Now here's something to keep in mind. He might fall off, the rest of the tournament. He might finish 2 over. He might fall off. But he could sit there and say, man, that one round, that one day,
yeah.
it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome that one day.
As of right now, he's got better odds than Rory does.
Well, Rory McIlroy just needs to make the cut.
Yeah.
That's as simple as that. Rory McIlroy just needs to make the cut. He finished the day at 7 over. 7 over.
Not good.
And I was it was back in like in our cubicle space, Victoria, where sometimes we prep for shows. And we have a TV on back over there. I forget who it was that said it. It's just Rory McIlroy hit this bunker shot like right onto the green. It was a great shot. And he goes, that guy's so talented. He's as talented as anybody else in the world. Why doesn't he win more? That's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
One, first of all, it's
hard.
Difficult.
Sure.
Like if you win 2 PGA Tour events a year, you're in like the upper echelon.
Yep.
Like you really are. And for him, like he's finished in top 10s and top 5s in majors over the last 10 years more than anybody. Like more than anybody. But he hasn't won.
No.
I think he's like the guy that's like always the person say always the bridesmaid, never a bride.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
27 dresses, anybody?
He's
Anyone
got a
else out there?
closet full of them.
He's got a closet full of them.
Yep.
27 dresses. But that's kind of what he's been. Like he's been just right there. He's like hey, Batman and Robin show up. He's Robin, right? Hey, I'm that number 2 guy. I got your back. Right here with you. Batman could go do his own thing. But that's kind of where he is right now. He's always, I wonder how much the U.S. Open down at Pinehurst is still in his head.
Yeah. Well, like we've talked about numerous times, it's so mental. And it's especially golf. I mean, I could see how, like, I don't even follow golf as closely as some people do. But, yeah, it is super mental, just like every sport. So that would be heavy, I think. And it wasn't that long ago either.
No, it really wasn't. It was just a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was mid-June. It was Father's Day weekend, which was literally a month ago. It was June 16th. So 1 month ago, the guy had a 2-stroke lead at the U.S. Open, sitting there going, man, I got this.
Mm-hmm.
I got this.
Maybe
He's
he needs
8
to do
under.
more karaoke.
Was
You
he doing
saw that?
karaoke?
Oh.
No.
Oh, yeah. He did an awful. I mean, he was having fun.
Hey, that's all that matters.
Yeah, it was a beverage or two, and he was doing some karaoke. So good for him. But yeah, maybe that's the secret. He just needs to do a little more of that.
Here's the thing when it comes to karaoke, it's all about commitment.
Yeah, own it.
Just commit to it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you're good or not.
No.
You just go all in with it.
Yeah.
You commit to it.
Even if you
That's
stink.
what makes it great. Yes.
Drink more. Sounds better.
Everyone sounds better. Everyone sounds better when that's the case. This is the Adam Gold Show. Dennis Cox sitting in for Adam Gold today. By the way, Open Championship, Brooks Koepka finished his round at 1 under, so he's just 3 strokes off the lead. Tony Finau finished his round earlier today at even par, so he's 4 strokes off the lead. Those guys at 4 under, Shane Lowry and Daniel Brown, still out on the course, so to be determined what they're going to finish up today. Justin Thomas at 3 under par as well. Xander Schauffele, he's 2 under. He's on the 18th hole now, but he's 2 under par, so it's still a chance for him to maybe gain a stroke, but at least, maybe not fall back a little bit further. So that's where some of the guys are sitting as of right now. Scotty Scheffler through 15 holes, he's even. So I would say this, when it comes to the Open Championship and these types of conditions, being even is fine because you're within striking range. That's all you can ask you. Like, just give yourself a chance going into the final round.
Yeah,
just
you don't wanna
give yourself a chance.
Don't want to play catch up.
No, don't want to do that. Much like Tiger Woods, we talk about Rory being 7 over. Tiger's on the 18th right now. He also is 7 over.
Oh.
Also 7 over. Bryson DeChambeau, 5 over today. Is where he finishes round at 5 over. I don't know for a guy who just hits bombs off the tee if this style of golf was really built for him.
Yeah.
Because the weather conditions and stuff, and just there's guys that will go iron off the tee, even if it's 400 yards, they'll hit iron just because, the way the hills roll and all that kind of stuff. I just don't know if this style of golf really fits him. But he's won 2 U.S. Opens, which fit his play perfectly well. I've said it before, said it earlier, the spectacle of this tournament is always just awesome to me. Always absolutely awesome. All right, real quick, since we closed the show with this yesterday, how we wrap things up, Jack Drury signed a contract with the Carolina Hurricanes yesterday, a 2-year contract extension worth $1.725 million per year. So he avoided arbitration, which is fine. Salary arbitration in the NHL doesn't happen very often. What it does is it allows you as a player to still continue to negotiate a contract as a restricted free agent. Now, you have to be a certain number of years in the NHL or at a certain age in the NHL in order for you to reach arbitration rights or arbitration eligible. Just because you're arbitration eligible doesn't necessarily mean you have to go to arbitration. Now, you can elect to do it and still negotiate out a deal, much like the Carolina Hurricanes did with Jack Drury. Carolina worked out this contract for the next 2 years. Now, when this contract is up for Jack Drury, he's still going to be a restricted free agent with arbitration eligibility. What it allows you to do as a player is allows you to negotiate a number higher than what a qualifying offer would be offered to you as a player. For example, Jack Drury this past season made about $850,000, somewhere in that ballpark, $850,000. Your qualifying offer is based off of the salary of the previous year. If it's below $100 million, you can increase it by like 10%, something along those lines, but never to more than $1 million. So basically, Jack Drury his qualifying offer as a restricted free agent is a 1-year, $100 million deal. Now, with arbitration eligibility, he can sit there and say, I think I'm worth more. I'm going to elect to do arbitration. That way we can negotiate a contract more than just the qualifying offer that you offered me. The qualifying offer in those situations is kind of a formality just to make sure that you retain the right to the player, because if you don't offer them a qualifying offer, they become unrestricted free agents and they can sign anywhere. So that's some of it's just paper transaction. It's really all it is. But you don't want to go to arbitration if you don't have to, generally, and that's why you don't see it very often. I think 14 players in the NHL Victoria applied for arbitration eligibility or exercise that right. And I think the number of people that's still looking at arbitration is like 8. So like deals and stuff have already been worked out. Now, one of those players is Martin Necas. Martin Necas, as a restricted free agent with arbitration rights, elected for arbitration. His qualifying offer was based off of his last year's salary, which was $3 million. So that's his qualifying offer. He's like, nah, I think I deserve more. This is where you're, again, not allowed to negotiate a deal with the Canes. I think the news that we got yesterday of Evgeny Kuznetsov going on unconditional waivers with the designation of having his contract bought out allows the Carolina Hurricanes to get deals done with Jack Drury, which we've already seen, with Martin Necas, and with Seth Jarvis, all restricted free agents. Now, Seth Jarvis is not eligible for arbitration. He's not old enough, basically. You're just not old enough or haven't been in the league long enough. So the $3.9 million coming off the books from Evgeny Kuznetsov allows the Carolina Hurricanes to make the deal with Jack Drury, to have the deal possibly with Martin Necas before arbitration, and still get something done with Seth Jarvis at a number that will keep him at long term, lock him up for the next 8 years. You can get all that done now because that $3.9 million you could spread out amongst those 3 guys. And speaking of the value of the contract, Trip Tracy, who's the color analyst for the Carolina Hurricanes, he joined the show called Next Up, which is heard at 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on 99.9 The Fan in Raleigh. Carolina Hurricanes color analyst Trip Tracy talked about the value of Jack Drury signing with the Carolina Hurricanes.
I think this is a very, very good signing by the Hurricanes. I mean, the number is a great value, probably such because, had it gone to arbitration, the strength probably early in his career fell in the Hurricanes' favor. And, hey, that's the way it should be because, we've seen with all these free agents that were just lost because that pendulum shifts as you approach unrestricted free agency. So I think it's without question going to be an outstanding value deal for the Hurricanes.
So that is something that to keep in mind, like Trip Tracy just said, with so many people that were lost in free agency, especially just with forwards. Jake Gensel, gone. Evgeny Kuznetsov, well, that was a different situation, but he's no longer there. Stefan Nason, no longer there. There's void, right? He was playing number 2 center for the Carolina Hurricanes during the playoffs. That's where he was. He was playing that role for Rob Brind'Amour. Rob Brind'Amour trusts him when it comes to taking faceoffs in the defensive zone, playing on the penalty kill, even getting some power play time. Seth Jarvis was in there in those situations. So if I'm if I'm Jack Drury, I can sit there and say, hey, you know what? I'm more valuable now. I deserve more. So it's a good value for Drury. Hey, basically you're making $1 million more per year than you did previously, and it's also a good deal for the Canes. By the way, Trip Tracy also talked about competition between Jack Drury and Jesperi Kotkaniemi for playing time.
But when I look at Jack and what he's established, and he's had to earn every bit of his very important standing on the Hurricanes, there are a couple of guys that are going to have a very healthy competition in the middle of the ice from that draft. Jack taken by the Hurricanes and Jesperi Kotkaniemi taken 1 pick after Svechnikov by the Montreal Canadiens at the time. Who is going to be the guy that earns the trust of the coach? And who is going to be the guy, while there's still that philosophical debate, you get to 24 years old, say, this is what you are. No, I don't think that that's necessarily true. It's, where do you take those next steps? So in a team sport where everybody's pulling on the rope for each other and together for Hurricane success, that's going to be an extremely healthy competition. When you think about Aho, you think about Jordan Staal, those other 2 centermen, and Jack and Jesperi Kotkaniemi. Ideally, both guys grab it and take some very sizable steps, but that will be the ideal healthy competition that you're looking for.
So, again, healthy competition. A lot of people might say, well, he shouldn't have been a number 2 center, he being Jack Drury. It's like, well, the reason why Jack Drury was a number 2 center in the playoffs last year is because Kuznetsov was unreliable defensively, and Jesperi Kotkaniemi just wasn't playing good. Jesperi Kotkaniemi was a healthy scratch. And that's not Jack Drury's fault. That's on the other guys. It's been the Adam Gold Show. If you missed any of the show, check it out on the Best of the Adam Gold Show podcast or 99.9 The Fan's YouTube page. Until next time, see ya.
Serving it up hot and fresh every day. Adam Gold on the North Carolina Sports Network.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
As we continue to get more and more behind-the-scenes info on how the trades happened this offseason for the Panthers, it becomes more and more obvious they may have gotten swindled in the Brian Burns trade, which is a problem when you consider he was their biggest trade asset that they could turn into value